views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right, all right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am Tyrone Thompson, the host of the show. Today is, what is today? January the 22nd, 2026. And I'm trying to see if my show is live on YouTube, because I didn't get a notification. Okay, there we go. There we go. Can you turn the can you okay, I got you. Hold on for a second. I think. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Tell me if this works. That's the microphone up. I don't know if that does it or not. All right. So yeah, it's on YouTube clearly because there's somebody in the chat. What's up, Jermaine? I don't know why I didn't get a notification, but later for all that, it'll be there. We go right there. There it is. Yeah, there we go. All right, welcome to the show. Like I said, it's January the 26th, January, what is it, the 22nd, 2026. Welcome to the show, and I'm Tyrone Thompson, and if you want to listen to the show, all you have to do is call in to the number at 717-908-1834 and hit the access code at 624-794. Now, I changed the access code a couple of weeks back, so I think everybody got the new one. If not, it's in the chat room, I believe, and on the screen. Yeah, it's on the screen. So y'all can use that access code and dial into the show and join the conversation. If you would like to, I missed last week because fuck it, I just wanted to, things come up and shit happens and it is what it is. But you know me, I try to do this thing on a consistent basis. So I'm here now. Shit, I don't know. Only thing I can do is talk about what the hell is going on in this country when it comes to the fascist regime that we are under now. Unfortunately, people like Jermaine and Sarge and others are so hell bent on demonizing Democrats and the other side, they can't see the forest for the trees. You're a Republican. You didn't change your political affiliation, Jermaine. So you still, in some parts, actually falling for the BS. Oh, you did? What did you change it to? Well, let me correct. Let me correct. Jermaine had pulled out, so I apologize for taking stabs at him straight off because that's something I didn't know. So that's an update. So I'm glad to hear that, Jermaine. I mean, and he said that he's a registered Democrat now, so that's good. But and I'm pretty sure with a individual like Jermaine, him and I are probably going to still see things differently when it comes to politics because clearly he was a Republican and he has conservative views, and you can be a Democrat and have conservative views, but you might not be as extreme in your views as Tyrone is. Like, I want free health care. I want clean energy. I want a whole lot of things that is the Republicans look at as extreme. I want a social safety net for elderly people and young people. I want the welfare system to work correctly. I don't look at those things as bad things because we are in a country that can't afford it. But well, congratulations to that, Jermaine. I mean, I don't know if I can talk shit to you no more. I'm still gonna talk shit, but that's good. That's good, man. At least from my perspective, and I don't know Jermaine, he's looking at what his party is doing, and he don't agree with it. And how could you stay in a party that is committing all of these disgraceful, unlawful things to their own citizen? Because what you're looking at on the streets of America is the Republican Party. What you're looking at on the streets of America is the Republican Party, and the Republican Party is represented now by a bunch of racists and fascists. But Howard, I open your line. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks for. First of all, how did you know that was me?
Because your name shows up.
Damn, my star 6 7 don't work. Hey, damn. Okay, I need to do some. Thank you for letting me know that. I need to do some cleaning up on my end. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, man, good to have you back, brother. That's all I wanted to say. I'm listening, man. Hope you have a great show. Appreciate you for coming on back, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Back from where?
it.
Nigga,
Well,
I
coming
can't I
back
can't take a
from
day
not
off.
being coming back from not being here last week. That is
God
what I'm
damn, you
saying.
act like
So
I went to
appreciate you,
Europe
brother.
some goddamn well. I mean, shit. Calm your ass down. Nah, it's all good. I
Okay.
appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Peace, brother.
All right. But yeah, the Republican Party is now Nazis. And when I used to say that, people would immediately pick up the phone, call in, and say, "You being extreme." The Republican Party are fascists. Once again, they used to call in here and say, "You can't prove that he's a fascist." But we're watching the fascism take place. It's because people have been so deprogrammed and desensitized through the right wing propaganda that they've been programmed to accept fascism. We're watching it, the militarization of ICE. Right, as a matter of fact, let me do it again so I won't get the description wrong. I pulled up the definition last week, and there it is on the screen right there. It says fascist is a far right, authoritarian, ultra nationalist political ideology that emerged in the 20th century Europe, characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and extreme subordination of individual interests of the nation. It promotes a myth of a national rebirth, relies on militarism, uses propaganda to create a cult of personalities around the leader. Every word of that reply applies to the Republican Party. The extreme nationalism is the nation is viewed as an organic entity with priority over individual rights, often defined by race, culture, and traditionalism. They're kicking out the migrants. The Supreme Court has gave them the authority to question people on the street because of their accents. The Republican Party has taken away the rights of women, and we've seen the Republican Party attack civil rights when it comes to the voting rights of black people. They pretty much got rid of affirmative action. The authoritarianism dictator, fascist states that are headed by dictators who act as a savior. Donald Trump says that he can fix everything. Donald Trump is never wrong. Donald Trump demonizes his predecessor and said if it wasn't for him, this country would be gone to hell. Donald, and the second part, it said, with a cult of personality and absolute central control, Donald Trump is trying to overtake the feds. He has overtaken the House. He has overtaken the Senate. He has overtaken the Supreme Court justices. He is putting places. He's putting people in place to do his bidding. At lower level judges. We're watching this fascism before our very eyes. Militarism, and violence. Fascism glorifies power, conflict, military virtues using paramilitarism who imposes order. Now you're looking at your ICE, right? You're looking at ICE. When you're talking about paramilitarism, and I know that might go over some heads, so let's go over that right quick. Paramilitarism refers to armed groups organized and functions like a military, but outside official state armies, often working with or for a state to use violence, coercion, and repression, including war crimes against civilians, blurring the lines between state and non-state violence, undermining legal authority through illicit activity like assassinations, torture, ethnic cleansing. These groups mimic the military structures in the uniform, the ranks, and the drills, and can range from extremist political militia to state-sponsored death squads, acting as tools for a plausible deniability for the government to create instability and enable mass atrocities. So let's stay here for a second, because we're talking about ICE and that part of fascism that ICE pertains to. Us as black Americans, and that's why I named the show the way I did. Let me see if I can find the name of the show. I think it was something in reference to black people sit your ass down. Yeah, black people, please sit your ass down. That's what I named the show. Whenever it comes to ICE and this administration, right? We have given credit to black people on this show for weeks and months for not falling for the bullshit out there in Minnesota and in other places. And you're going to have one or two black people that stands up in these protests because they have neighbors out there, they have friends out there. So we get that. But not as a black movement, right? You don't want to be the face of opposition to this administration. Black people don't. Black people don't want to be the face of this opposition because we were initially the target. When you look at when Donald Trump first started deploying the National Guard and ICE to these places, he was going to black cities and hoping that black people would uprise and oppose them. And that would give him the authority to do two things, to accomplish two things. To point at our community and justify his criminal activity through violence and death. And that will, the second thing it would do, it will give white America a chance to look at the television screen and see a white dictator attacking black people like they have so many times in history, and validate their vote and validate their support for racism and these Nazis that are in the White House. So that's what it would do. So when I say black people, you don't need to be the face of the opposition to this administration, because this administration is looking for a reason to kill black people, and they will justify it. You can see Christine Nome, the dog killer, immediately came out after they murdered Renee Good and said that was a justified killing. Now you have white people that are angry because she was a white woman, and they're all in the street and they're protesting at the murder of Renee Good, which they should be, right? But I guarantee you, if it was a black person murdered by ICE, hold on, I think there was a black person murdered by ICE. Hold on. Keith Porter, yeah, I remember hearing his name. It says in early 2026, 2 separate fatal shootings involving immigration customs enforcement agents leading to the investigation of public outcry. Keith Porter, a black man, was killed by an off-duty ICE agent in Los Angeles on New Year's. So there you have the dichotomy of a black person getting killed by ICE, and I had to Google his name, right? And a white person getting killed by ICE in Renee Good, and both of those are wrongful deaths. But when you look at how the media portrayed each death, we don't even know who Keith Porter is, right? He was 43 years old, celebrating New Year's. And there's some images of him. But once again, we see how this country would act if I started killing black people. They wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't care. So when I say black people, sit your ass down, you're doing the right thing by not being in the forefront of the opposition to ICE. Of course, black African Americans do not agree with what ICE is doing, because it's unlawful, it's criminal, and when you have a criminal in the White House, you wouldn't expect less, right? Anything else I meant to say? So if ICE starts if we start rising up and opposing ICE, there'll be bodies in the streets, there'll be children dying, there'll be kicking in doors, there'll be all of this crazy shit that's going on in the black community. And then that's just going to get more and more people angry. So there'll be more and more uprising from the black community, in my opinion. And that's what I feel like would happen if it was a concerted effort for black people to stand up. They wouldn't. You would see a whole lot more bullshit that's going on, and I'm pretty sure eventually you'll see people shooting back, right? But I'm glad that we're not doing that until the other week, Don Lemon made headlines. Where is he at? Where is this at? Don Lemon made headlines going into a church in Minnesota. And white people jumped all over that. They jumped all over it. Because why? Now you have a black guy. Now, not only do you have a black guy, you have a black gay guy that we can put as the face of this opposition. Donald Trump jumped on Twitter. All of the Republicans jumped on Twitter and said Don Lemon is the reason why the protesters in Minnesota are doing what they're doing. And I was like, what the fuck is Don Lemon name doing in the headline? But Don Lemon was out there doing what he normally does, which is try to interview people, get into the thick of things, and report on shit. You know, that's his business. You can do that. But Don Lemon need to sit his ass down. Or back the fuck up. Or whatever, because if they start saying that Don Lemon or a black person is the head of the movement, then that's just going to embolden ICE supporting people. You know, that's just going to give them a reason to support and defend ICE when they say black people are opposing ICE. So Don Lemon need to sit down. And I'm just going to say he mistakenly became the face of this thing. And they tried to charge him, is what these headlines are saying. Let me see. This says Minnesota magistrate rejects charges against Don Lemon over anti-ICE church protests, blocks some charges for two protesters. A Minnesota federal magistrate judge refused to sign a complaint charging the independent journalist Don Lemon in connection with the protests inside of a church in St. Paul's on Sunday. Multiple sources familiar with these proceedings told CBS the Attorney General is enraged at the magistrate's decision, said a source familiar with the matters. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, has been in Minnesota for 2 days, and as the Justice Department has sought to surge prosecutorial and law enforcement resources here. A different source stressed that the process is now over and the Justice Department could find other avenues to charge Don Lemon. The magistrate judge who declined to approve the charges for Lemon was Douglas Miko. Sources told CBS. Miko previously worked as a federal public defender. Lemon's attorney, Abby Lowell, said in a statement Thursday that the magistrate's action confirmed the nature of Don Lemon's First Amendment protected work this weekend in Minnesota. Well, there was a lot said there, but the point is that the government is mad that the magistrate rejects the charges against Don Lemon. And the government needs for a black person to be the enemy, so Pam Bondi is going to seek other avenues, or they saying that she could seek other avenues to put Don Lemon's face on these protests in Minnesota. And stating the obvious, the majority of the protesters out there are white, and that's fine. And that's what they supposed to do. That's what the fuck they should have did in November. So they're in the streets now. What's done is done. The election is over, and now you're mad. Now you're seeing what everybody else was telling your ass about this fascist administration. Now you're mad after one of yours that got murdered. Now you're mad that they're kicking in your goddamn schools and scaring your children. Now you're mad after you go home through a cloud of pepper spray and your children are choking and you have to take them to the damn hospital because of fascism. Now you're mad. But that's fine. That's fine. You're mad now, and better late than never. Better late than never for white people to be upset in this damn country at this racist motherfucker in the White House. But it took the brown shirts to murder one of y'all for you to get upset. When time and time again, over year after year, I know I've sat up here and called out the racism. I know other black people in the community have called out the racist nature of the Republican Party. I know I predicted that Donald Trump would be a fucking fascist. I know I predicted that he would be an authoritarian leader and a dictator. I know I said that. And I know I warned people about the dangers of Donald Trump having people pledge loyalty to him in the way that he did. After he got rid of Comey for not doing that, for not pledging loyalty. But that's when it really came to the forefront that Donald Trump really wanted loyalty from everybody that worked for him. And why did he want loyalty? He wanted loyalty because he can do whatever the fuck he want to do with no pushback, which is what we're watching now. I know I warned people about the implementation of Project 2025 when on this very show here, people called in and said he don't know what the fuck Project 2025 is because he said it. I seen reports today that somewhere along the lines of, I don't know if it was 40 or 60. It was between 40 or 60% of Project 2025 is implemented now. When it comes to Elon Musk and Doge and the Trump administration getting rid of government workers. When it comes to J.D. Vance standing on the stage saying you don't have to be ashamed of being white in America no more. When it comes to taking away from rights from trans people and all of that stuff. You know, I haven't recently familiarized myself with Project 2025, but I heard somebody say either today or a couple of days ago that I'm gonna say the majority of that plan has been implemented. And the fact is, we have video and audio of Donald Trump lying to his base, saying that he didn't know what Project 2025 was. Right? But they don't care. They're stupid. There goes Sergeant. There go Sergeant ABC in the chat room as I'm talking about their damn God. You know. So, where was that? I got thrown off for a second. Black people, sit your ass down. And not only did we have Don Lemon show up on the headline, we had the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense. I think that's what they call themselves. Yeah, that's what they call them. Okay, Google, you wrong. Okay, so now I'm pissed. I'm getting pissed off. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna put New Black Panther Party because that's not right. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is more along the lines of the Black Panther Party that I'm talking about. It's represented in Minnesota now because I'm not going to put. I'm going to try not to tie the old Black Panther Party with the new Black Panther Party. Okay, and there's a reason I'm doing that because they're not the same. I've always said that. And I'm not going to try. I'm trying not to shit on the new Black Panther Party because people got to do what they got to do in their own way. It says the new Black Panther Party is an American black nationalist organization founded in Dallas, Texas in 1980. Despite of the name New Black Panther Party, it is not an official successor to the Black Panther Party. Members of the original Black Panther Party have insisted that the new Black Panther Party has no legitimacy and that there is no new Black Panther Party. This group is characterized by its departure away from many of the socialist ideals in the namesake towards new Africanism. All right. The Black Panther Party, the old one, originally the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense was an American Marxist Leninist and Black Power political militant organization founded by college students Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton in 1966 October in California, and active in the area until 1982. Between 1968 and 1971, it was also a nationwide organization with chapters in many of major American cities, including San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Philadelphia. Members were active in many prisons and had international chapters in the United Kingdom and Algeria. The party first drew attention for openly carrying firearms in Oakland while monitoring police activity. Its earliest goal was to challenge the excessive force and misconduct of the Oakland Police Department that affected the African American community during the civil rights movement. It advocates for decent housing, community control of education and police, exemption from military service, and free breakfast for children. Party members were involved in many fatal firefights with the police. Now I'm going to stop right there because we already know the history, how that political organization was infiltrated by the government, J. Edgar Hoover, and COINTELPRO and all of that. We already know that. But I'm trying to draw a difference between the new Black Panther Party and the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party. Because when I seen, when I was at Black People Need to Sit Their Ass Down. First I named out Don Lemon, and now I'm naming out this dumbass Black Panther Party member who got on the fucking news proudly out there supporting them people in Minnesota. Right? Where is he at? I can't find him. And I could tell the brother's passionate about what he's saying. And I don't know where this motherfucker is. Oh, here he is right here. Oh, I ain't see this headline. It says the founder of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton's niece, threatens to sue a new group claiming to be the Black Panthers protecting migrants and immigrants and Somalis in Minnesota. So here we have Huey P. Newton's niece saying the same shit that I'm saying. Basically, is that these guys aren't the Black Panthers. They're not. They're not. And this guy that you're looking at on the screen, he got in front of a camera, and I guess some would look at it as saying the right thing and all of that kind of stuff as far as protecting everybody and standing up to the police officers or standing up to ICE and all that kind of stuff. So he reached an audience with that, but I can tell you for the large part, it wasn't Black America, because Black America know who the Black Panthers are if you pay attention to any of our history. And I used to be all up in, that business, not for educational reasons, but more of I was fascinated at the original Black Panther and the stance that they took and the power that they exuded and the moves that they were making. And I was fascinated at that, so I might get some things historically incorrect about the Black Panther Party, but I can tell you that these people that were in Minnesota is not the Black Panther Party. Now, after this guy got up there and ran his mouth and talking about shooting ICE and all this kind of bullshit, all kinds of white people came up and started cheering. Yeah, the Black Panther Party is out there. Well, I guess I could play the audio. ABC want me to play the audio. I have to find the ABC because, I'm lazy before I come on the show. But the white people was cheering, yeah, the Black Panther Party is out there, blah, 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 blah. And I was looking at that and I was like, what the fuck? Now you have white TikTokers cheering on the Black Panther Party for going to Minnesota, waving around guns, threatening to shoot ICE. And not only that, just like Don Lemon, the Trump administration were waiting for this day. They were waiting for black people to stand up and resist them. Let me see if I can find this guy's name. ABC. I got to find his name. And then I can, maybe I can just Google YouTube and find it that way. And then I'll download that audio so you guys can hear it. But the Trump administration were waiting for the new Black Panthers in Minnesota to do exactly what they did. Now, I don't know what put a light in they behind and made them want to come out there guns blazing and all of that. I understand that we all witnessing the mistreatment of people in Minnesota, the unfair treatment of migrants. We're all witnessing the unlawful behavior of the Trump administration. Y'all know I can't do two things at one time. We all feel something whenever we see a woman get shot in the fucking head by the government, and then immediately the government stands up and say we was justified by murdering somebody on the streets of America. We all should feel something when that happens. But we're playing a God damn it, ABC, I can't find that audio real quick. I know everybody got it, but it ain't pulling up on my damn YouTube. And I'll let you guys hear what he said. Let me see. I'm gonna put interview. Well, oh, I guess his name is Chairman Paul Birdsong. I found the audio, and I'm gonna see if I can download it. Copy link. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on for a second. Oh, okay. So I'll slide this over here. So y'all can, if y'all remember seeing him do the interview, that's the interview that he was doing that I'm talking about, that I'm referencing. You can see he's standing up there, ready to go to war with ICE, to defend Renee Good. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it made a lot of people feel good, because you don't have too many people standing up to this administration and boldly speaking out the unlawful behavior of what's going on. And whenever you got the Black Panther Party, who is known for business, the original one is known for business, and you got the Black Panther Party coming out saying, hey, look, y'all need to get yourself together, we're going to do something about it. When you got somebody coming out saying that, forcefully holding a weapon and saying that they will not withdraw and they will actually combat the violence with violence, and that's coming from a black man in this country, then a lot of people, regardless of what the fuck they want, you think they want to say, that make them feel good. So here's this audio. So let me see if this is it.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. Won't no ICE Black agent ever run a fence. We're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them, and it needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are gonna legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public's going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher, you meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people. No power to the pig.
Now, y'all just heard the young man there, and he's very motivated. And like I said, I don't want to talk down about any black movement. But my issue with this black movement is that this is not the Black Panthers. It is not. The Black Panthers was disbanded. Their organization don't exist no more. And I know that there's probably still some people living that was in the Black Panthers. Like I said, this Huey P. Niece is opposing what this guy is saying, and the most relevant thing now is what I'm saying about Donald Trump needing to put a face on his immoral, unlawful acts against Americans. And it would be convenient for them and follow their narrative. You remember we had the reason the airplanes were falling out of the sky was because of black people in DEI. Right? You remember they had to take our children's books out of school because they was telling black history. Remember they argued that February, which is coming up next month, and the happy pre-Black History Month. February is not necessary for Black history because we don't talk about enough white history. You remember you have some people on social media talking about black fatigue and black victimhood, and you got white mothers out there that don't want their children to feel guilty because her granny and her great grandmama used to eat fucking black people. They don't want to tell the story about they papa sexually abusing slaves and all this kind of bullshit. So black people need to be beat into the ground to oblivion, so whatever we say doesn't matter. So if they can make us the face of opposition to Trump's brown shirts in Minnesota, then that'll give them justification for discounting every goddamn thing we say about this racist ass country. Right? So I just wish this brother would not use the name of the Black Panthers. And I know that they put new in front of it, but that's not separation enough for me. Right? Because you will have what you heard in this audio, where you, at some point in time in history, the leadership will take over and he will say what he just said, where he said we are an extension of the old Black Panther Party, which is a fucking lie, brother. I mean, I knew that, and the previous leaders of the new Black Panther Party knew that. They even came out and said, and that's why I was okay with it, with the new Black Panther Party. They even told us in the past that they're not the Black Panthers. But now you got this new iteration of leadership who's actually saying that they are an extension of the old Black Panthers, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're not the Black Panthers. And so I'm on the fence here when I'm supporting black militant and black people rising up against racism in this government. But at the same time, you cannot claim the names of the Black Panthers. I'm not against your actions, but do it up under another title or whatever you're going to do. I support any people that raise up, any black organization that I'm not going to bash these guys like I imagine other people are doing, but I just want to clarify that that's not the Black Panthers. And furthermore say that black people rising up in Minnesota need to sit your ass down. You need to sit your ass down because that's all they're looking for is a black person to blame for whatever goes on. And I called out the young man's name that got killed by ICE, Keith Porter, and nobody's talking about this guy like they did that white woman. So white people are mad when they murdered a white woman. But see, Renee Good gave them a reason to kind of pull back because she was a lesbian, I think. So, you know, half of America is okay with lesbians being killed because they're gay. But the ones with common sense actually can look at the videotape and tell that ICE agent needs to be under the jail. He committed a crime in broad daylight for the world to see. And because he's a white man with a gun, he's allowed to walk free in America. This is the America that white America wanted. And when it comes knocking at their door, the first thing that they're going to do is look around and see if any black people are out trying to help defend them. And as we showed you with Don Lemon and this example of the Black Panther Party leader, that they're still going to have the Uncle Toms and the Sambos out there defending Massa. There was another viral video where this racist, a known racist, was in Minnesota calling people the N-word and monkeys and all this kind of shit. And out of the crowd in Minnesota, this black man wrapped his arms around this racist and defended this guy. See, when I say that our DNA is tainted, I'm not saying it because Sarge and ABC's DNA is tainted, because that's a true fact. They have tainted DNA and they love their massa. But the DNA is tainted throughout our community historically. You know, when you talk about epigenetics and the transferring of emotions through DNA, that's what happened to our community. Because we still got people that can come out of the womb today. This is how they fucked up our community. We got babies that can come out of the womb today, and 20 years from now, for unknown reason, they want to defend white people. You got to educate yourself not to feel that way. You got to know that you do not have to do that. You don't have to look for the good graces of white America whenever they all constantly putting their goddamn boot on your neck. And Donald Trump is just sitting in that damn White House doing whatever the fuck he want to do. Breaking every law under the Constitution. Creating militia like ICE, who think that they are above the law. And then I seen a news report today saying that ICE police, Minnesota police, was getting their let me see if I can find this story. Was getting their rights violated by ICE. Yeah, I think it was. This was the news conference that I seen. Let me. Instead of telling you about it, I'm going to download it and let y'all hear the audio. Because to me, this was a fucking joke. I mean, it's unfortunate police officers are violating the police officers' rights. But at the same time, now the police officers are complaining about what citizens have been saying for fucking decades. And now when ICE do it to them, they want to hold a press conference and tell everybody how terrible ICE is. You see? So let me play this for you guys. Now the thing about this story is the police that got harassed by ICE is a person of color, of course. So hold on.
Recently, as the last 2 weeks, we as law enforcement community have been receiving endless complaints about civil rights violations in our streets from U.S. citizens. What we're hearing is they're being stopped in traffic stops or on the street with no cause and being forced to demand paperwork to determine if they are here legally. As this went on over the past 2 weeks, we started hearing from our police officers the same complaints as they fell victim to this while off duty. Every one of these individuals is a person of color who has had this happen to them. In Brooklyn Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed her in, they demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen and clearly would not have any paperwork. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone. In an attempt to record the incident, the phone was knocked out of her hands, prevented her from recording it. The officer had their guns drawn during this interaction. And after the officer became so concerned, they were forced to identify themselves as a Brooklyn Park police officer in hopes of slowing the incident and de-escalating the incident down. The agents then immediately left after hearing this, making no other comments, no other apologies, just got in their vehicles and left.
All right, so there you have a police officer of color getting harassed by ICE. And they wanted to have a meeting to let ICE know, or to let the people know that they are also getting harassed. This was an off-duty officer of color. Sound like she was a female. But at the same time, and he went, this interview is longer. He went on to give a sympathetic understanding for the existence of ICE. And he was saying in the past that ICE did good work and all of this kind of bullshit. So there you have a white man who has one of his officers harassed by the goddamn brown shirts, but at the same time, while showing sympathy for her, he got to show sympathy for the goddamn white man that is breaking the goddamn law. And he had this interview like it was a big ass thing. No, the comments tell it all. And then here's the first comment. It says, it happens to them, now it's an issue. And then the second comment said, just comply, right? Isn't that what they've been telling us? And then the third comment said, okay, so arrest the ICE agents on the spot. What's it going to take? And it goes on and on and on to show the fuckery this community is in, our country is in, because now you got the same people that was implementing the bad behavior on citizens, the police officers. Now they're getting the same treatment from the government, the ICE officers. But the whole time, for decades, while black people were telling you that the police officers are corrupt, the system is corrupt, people like Sergeant ABC was calling its own community victims. Just comply. Oh, he smoked weed when he was 17. He had paraphernalia in his wall locker. Instead of admitting that black people are not complaining about nothing, that there is a problem with this system and its racism toward black people, now that the chickens are coming home to roost and white people are getting shot in the fucking head and police officers are getting harassed by ICE, now it's a concern. I'm telling you, black people, sit your ass down. Do not join the opposition to ICE. Do not join any protests under this administration, because whenever this administration see you gather anywhere, they're coming with gun slanging. Now, I'm not telling you to be no damn chicken. I'm not telling you to be afraid of the white man. I'm just telling you that we witnessed the violence of these people, and they will lock your ass up and put you in concentration camps. They've already done it. They've broken wheels, ribs. They've broken arms. They smashed in fucking car windows. They've maced, pepper sprayed children. And a report came out last week that the people that are ICE members are mainly the participants of January the 6th. Go figure. This is what I said. Donald Trump needed a goddamn militia. Those people who broke the law on January the 6th and got locked the fuck up, rightfully so, Donald Trump's released those fucking criminals and empowered them with badges and guns because it said, you think I'm lying? Okay, hold on. What's his name? Enriqueo? Yeah, that's the guy. Let me see. Well, now, so yeah, I might be wrong because now it's saying that it's false. So maybe I might have been a victim of well, who's it? Newsday? Who is Newsday? Okay, let's use WRAL. That's Raleigh newspaper in North Carolina. I kind of trust that one. But now the headliner saying that the former Proud Boy leader is falsely identified as an ICE agent. So I was caught up in people saying that he was. So now, as of January the 16th, they saying that he's not. Social media user falsely claimed Enrique Otario, a former Proud Boys member, is working with the official agency, but it's false. So I want to correct myself with Enrique Otario and say that he's not ICE because the newspapers are saying that he's not ICE. But that doesn't go against what the fuck I'm saying is that the people for January the 6th are now ICE members. That is a fact. The people that Donald Trump pardoned, those criminals, are fucking ICE. That's why you see them motherfuckers pulling out guns and shooting people in the head. Hold on, I opened somebody's line a while ago, so let me see who this is. Hold on for a second. All right, who's on the line?
It's Miss Lady.
Oh, what's up, Miss Lady? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have you on hold for so long.
That's okay. You know, I wanted to say, I'm reading an article that came out January the 6th. It's military.com, and it said that ICE added 12,000 agents in less than a year. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 months. It expanded by 120% nationwide. They went recruiting people, and how they were able to do it is they lowered the standards. So you have to be I think you have to be 18 years of age. Can you imagine an 18-year-old becoming an ICE person after 6 weeks of training? That's why there's been so many illegal acts done, and that's why they're emotionally stunted out there. They get easily angered because they have people that don't have any kind of standards, and they don't understand the legalities of what they're doing, what's allowed and what's not allowed under the Constitution, and they're just acting all crazy. You're right. It's a lot of those January 6ers, but they also just recruited 12,000 new frontline people. And you know, they're giving them big sign-on bonuses and good paychecks and getting rid of student loans and that kind of thing. So,
well, I mean, that's scary to know that they recruiting that type of numbers, and there's a bigger agenda here. We haven't seen the real reason why they need that many ICE agents. So that's waiting to be seen. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that many troops.
Well, I think it's supposed to be somebody's personal military enforcers, okay? Military-like enforcement. Army, like their own little private army, really, if they can get it that way.
Well,
Congress
see.
has been asking about these standards,
Uh huh.
because it's alarming, and they haven't really, I don't think, been very transparent about the standards for these ICE people. And so allegedly they want to deport 1 million people a year. At some point, they're not going to have enough people to deport, because Obama deported millions of people. Biden did as well, and Trump has as well. And I just don't. I don't think they're just coming across the border in hordes at all.
No,
So
they're using the
interesting
immigration. They're using the immigration as an excuse to be in the street, to militarize the streets of America. That's what they're doing.
I think so. Because he allegedly talked about enacting the Insurrection Act on Minneapolis, and that way he could suspend their elections. Another thing is they're lying. There was a whistleblower that leaked a memo from ICE. They were telling ICE, the people that are over, like the ICE departments, and that they could let their ICE agents know, I want to say thugs, that they can go into someone's house and arrest them with an administrative warrant, and not an arrest warrant which is signed by a magistrate or a judge. That's unconstitutional. That's in violation of your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure.
Yeah, I heard it reported. You might be talking about the same thing, where they can kick in doors. That's a violation of the Constitution.
And going into your house, and that is without an arrest warrant. And you need an arrest warrant to do that. But they're telling them all you need is an administrative warrant. It's like I was listening to what's his name, Hawk, who's an attorney out here in California. He was like, that's like saying your supervisor signing a warrant saying you could go and arrest somebody in their house. No, it has to come from a judge. You have to state articulable facts that why this arrest warrant is necessary. This is ridiculous, and it has to come from a magistrate or a judge.
Sarge in the chat room supporting the 12,000 ICE troops.
He ain't gonna get hired. They lowered the age, not raised the age, so he can forget it. Okay.
Yeah,
forget it.
It doesn't matter what these people do. That guy's going to
He's
support
one fall
him.
away from a broken hip at his age, and that's that would be a workers' comp issue. They ain't about to be bothered with that. Okay.
Yeah, Sarge. So you can stop applying for ICE. You're not going to get on.
You're not gonna get on. Now maybe if he was 20 years younger, they take him, but that no. So, so it's just ridiculous what's going on, and they're saying that they're gonna try and make it harder, like to leave the country, and our U.S. passport is not going. Other countries are going to start limiting or not allowing our U.S. passports to allow us into their countries. And they're trying to get rid of dual citizenship.
I guess the thing is that they're supposed to be in Minnesota for the Somalians, right? So I can't recall any news of any Somalians being detained by ICE, maybe one or two. But if they up there for Somalians, then they wrong again because the majority of them Somalians up there are U.S. citizens, so they can't touch them any goddamn way.
Yeah, and there was a white woman behind all that big fraud.
I seen that too. They didn't report on that.
No, they're not saying nothing about that. It was like a lot of millions. And so it's just interesting is all I can say. And then I don't know where, I can't remember, I just briefly listened to a clip, and some Republican crazy man is talking about they want to put a law out, I guess maybe in their state, I don't know, that if women don't get married, I guess it's within a certain age frame, and have children, they're going to fine them like $17,000. These people are out their minds. They're crazy.
Yep. Let me acknowledge Elisa. Your line is open, and unknown caller, who is this?
I'm gonna set the goddamn record straight with facts. I can't stand misinformation. If it's willful, I can't stand it.
Well, hold on for a second. Before you go, I'm gonna let Elisa say something. Elisa, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing okay, Tyrone. Hi, everybody, Miss Lady.
Hi.
Can you hear me, Tyrone?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, missed you last week, but you're back. I don't know. Every time we come back, like it's the next week, it seems like it's worse each week as we come back. And I remember when I was saying that I wonder why, like this heavy ice presence hasn't shown up in my state, because we have a pretty significant sanctuary city. Well, we heard about, them being around certain little small areas, not really small, but certain areas of the state. Well, they's here, baby, and they's here. And like I said, I'm not going to do my thrifting and things like that because, as I explained, the sanctuary city is separated between two counties, mine and another county. I live on the other side of the county, not on the side where the sanctuary city is at. But, child, it was all out on my side of the county. I was coming from the doctor's office. This was last week before last. And it's just that all of a sudden, all the cars was going crazy. And we had to pull off to the side of the road quick, fast, and in a hurry. And all of these SUVs, no marking, kept flying up in the street, and they just blocked all the traffic. Now, this was on a highway, but it's a highway that runs, it's a major highway that runs through the state that happens to run through the particular community, but the highway stretches all the way. You can take it all the way down south. I'll just say 301. It doesn't matter. Nobody will know where I live. But 301. And we all had to pull over to the side of the road to get out their way. And they went to chasing and ran up into, we just never found who they was chasing. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, that thing had me so nervous coming up through there. And eventually they just came and waved all the cars on. Very nasty, very this, that. I said, let me get him up there. I said, because I didn't expect them to see them this far over into the county. And like everybody is showing the pictures where they're on the major roads and ice flying through, trying to wreck people off the road and stuff like that. Well, I knew it was going to pick up. I knew eventually it was going to pick up, but not like this, not like this. And our news is that they're reporting it a little bit because I shot someone over in Glen Burnie, Maryland. That's the next county over from where I live, and that's in the next county. Glen Burnie's in the next county. They had a shooting up there, and I know the governor had to come out and he told everybody to stay away from the area. It's just a mess, and I expect it to get worse in this area and worse in other states. This is just a dry run. What's happening in the Twin Cities, this is just a dry run for everybody else. And the thing that bothers me is that a lot of the kids and stuff, they're afraid. I'm talking about in my family and the people who I know. You know, they're scared because they see, and they should be allowed to see what's going on the news and stuff, and they're afraid and they're scared. That's all I'm gonna say for right now, Tyson.
All right. Sarge, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight, sir?
Well, it's good to have you back. I thought you were scared of me and you was running away from me or something.
What the fuck ever?
I'm glad to see you're not. Look here, man. I'm gonna tell you something. First of all, let's get one thing straight about this due process for illegal aliens. Illegal aliens only have a right to due process when they are being accused of a criminal offense. That's when they get all those Article 3 rights that were, like we just heard, cited. They moved the immigration courts from the Article 3 branch of the federal government, meaning the judiciary of the federal government, to the Article 2 executive branch for that very reason. They don't want them tied up in a judicial process that'll keep them here in this country forever with endless appeals when they're trying to deport them. That's why Congress changed the law and took them out of Article 3 and put them Article 2 under the control of the president. Now, if you don't like it, take it up with Congress. Now, let me tell you what these agents have the power to do. Because I hear I just heard a lot of misinformation about ICE agents. Because I decided, since I was going to try to join them, and I don't expect them to call me. I know how old I am. I'm in shape. I can do it. I know I can. But I don't expect them to call me. I don't care if they do or not. I thought I'd put in, they said there's no age limit. Go look at the website. It's still there. There is no age limit. But let's get back to the nitty-gritty here. I'm looking at United States Code, Chapter 8, Section 1357. Powers of immigration officers and employees. A, powers without warrant. And it says, SARS didn't write this, Congress did. It's a congressionally passed legislation. An officer or employee of the service, that includes ICE, authorized under regulations derived by the Attorney General shall have power without warrant, 1, to interrogate any alien or person believed to be an alien. In other words, you don't have to be an alien. All they got to do is reasonably believe you are. Believed to be an alien as to his right to be or to remain in the United States. 2, to arrest any alien who in his presence or view is entering or attempting to enter the United States in violation of any law or regulation made in pursuance of law regulating the admission, exclusion, expulsion, or removal of aliens, or to arrest any alien in the United States if he has reason to believe that the alien so arrested is in the United States in violation of any such law or regulation and is likely to escape before a warrant can be obtained for his arrest. But the alien arrested shall be taken without unnecessary delay for examination before an officer of the service having authority to examine aliens as to their right to enter or remain in the United States. 3, within a reasonable distance from any external boundary of the United States, to board and search for aliens any vessel within the territorial waters of the United States and any railway car, aircraft, conveyance, or vehicle, and within a distance of 25 miles any such external boundary that have access to private lands but not dwellings for the purpose of patrolling the border to prevent the illegal entry of aliens in the United States. 4, to make arrests for felonies which have been committed and which are cognizable under any law of the United States regulating the admission, exclusion, expulsion, or removal of aliens if he has reason to believe that the person so arrested is guilty of such felony and there is likelihood of the person escaping before a warrant can be obtained for his arrest, but the person arrested shall be taken without unnecessary delay before the nearest available officer empowered to commit persons charged with offenses against the laws of the United States. And 5, this is what really makes y'all mad. To make arrests, A, for any offense against the United States if the offense is committed in the officer or employee's presence. So they're not limited to just immigration law. If they see a violation of any federal law in their presence, they can make an arrest for it. Now, they will turn it over to the agency that normally investigates it, but they can make the arrest. And B, for any felony, any felony cognizable under the laws of the United States if the officer or employee has reasonable grounds to believe that the person to be arrested is committed or is committing such a felony. So look, if you guys don't like the law, you tell Congress to change it. In the meantime, they can arrest American citizens. They can detain them if they believe they're aliens, even if it's mistaken, if they have probable cause to make the arrest. If they made a mistake, they let the person go, they apologize, you see if you can try to sue the federal government to get some money for it. That's what you do. You don't sit there and tell them you can't arrest me, because they can if they got probable cause. And they don't need a warrant. It's in the law. I didn't write it. She didn't write it. You didn't write it. The Congress wrote it. And that's where they get their authority.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
I knew your blockheaded ass was gonna say that. I just thought I'd put it
I don't know what else to say. I'm not gonna argue with you.
This information, I'm gonna put it out there, whether you like it or not. It's out there. You keep believing the bullshit you want, and then you fuck with ICE and see what happens.
Do the police have the same authority?
You better go look at the state statutes for that police. I don't know. See, I'm not pretend to be a know-it-all like you.
Do the
I don't know if they do or not. You got to look at what the state charter, the state constitution, the city charter authorizes them to do. Then I can answer you. So be specific.
Do the FBI have that?
Illinois. I know about Illinois. You have something I don't know. I can tell you.
Do the FBI have that same authority?
Similar, yes. It's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same, though. I know that.
Well,
I know it's a bit different. They got a bit more. They got the ability to do investigations of offenses of federal law.
Okay, well, from your statements and comments, I can tell that you're not going to be honest because.
Motherfucker, I read the fucking law. It's not my law. I didn't make it up. What do you mean? Oh, what the fuck has honesty got to do with it? Do you comprehend words or not? I know you don't like things when you just don't like them. They don't come out the way you like them to come out. But I'm sorry, that's the way the law is written. That's why a lot of this shit about they're illegal and they doing illegal activities is just a bunch of hot air.
So did that police officer?
Like the enforcement effort. They don't want the enforcement effort. They'll do everything they can to block the enforcement effort, and that's why they talk the way they do. If you look at the sexual offenders that they rounded up in Minnesota in this code, and dare me to tell you who they are and what they've done. Dare me, goddammit, and let me do it, and I'll show you, you full of SH&IT.
So you worried about sexual?
Epstein, you talk about Epstein and pedophilia. You ought to see what these people they rounded up in Minnesota are. Do you want to enable those people to continue doing those kind of things?
So you worried about sexual offenders now? I just want to be on the same sheet of music.
Keep moving the goalposts, okay?
No, you the one. Sorry.
Gonna wear out and the wheels will fall off.
That's what's happening in the East Coast. That's why I'm quiet and I'm listening because I'm just talking about what you mentioned. And you mentioned a sexual offender, and I was just curious that are you worried about sexual offenders now?
Yes, and I'm telling you right now, I'm worried about it, and the FBI and ICE in Minnesota is rounding up one hell of a lot of them. And dare me to tell you who they are, because I got chapter and verse on their names, their backgrounds, and what they have been convicted of in state, federal courts, or in courts and jurisdictions back where they came from. They are convicted of sexual assault, pedophilia, sodomy, sex trafficking, all kinds of SH&IT.
Mm-hmm. So we know that.
And you don't want ICE to do any of that, do you? You want them to just pack up and go home.
Yeah, they need to go home.
I want them to go. I want them to go after sexual offenders. I really
Minnesota
do.
Minnesota doesn't want ICE to do it. They didn't do it.
And those who protect them. That's who I want. I do want. That's
Minnesota did nothing to remove them. Minnesota is letting them stay. Minnesota is resisting the efforts of ICE to remove them. I'll tell you again. I have their names, their offenses, even their photographs.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's what you want Minnesota to do, then why don't you require Donald Trump to do the same thing?
Ask yourself, why are they resisting ICE instead of cooperating with them to get these people?
I'm not
That's
asking
what
you
should
that.
be asking. Don't ask me that question.
I'm asking you if
I know
you.
why they're doing it. Tell me I'm lying anyway. When I tell you, whatever I tell you that's adverse to what you want to believe.
Well, see, this is
you're
why
gonna
we
tell
can't
me
have a
I'm lying.
conversation, because every time I start talking, you start talking over me. You said that you're concerned about Minnesota going after those sexual criminals. So I'm asking you, why aren't you bothered that Donald Trump is not trying to get rid of the sexual criminal in his circle, in his association?
Do you realize that right now CNN is paying $15 million to Donald Trump or ABC rather, for stepping off of implying that very same thing, and he wrote an apology today and put it in X?
But you're reframing what I'm asking here.
Another fool over in CNN say the same thing yesterday, and now he's worried that he's going to get sued for saying that Trump was a member of a sex trafficking ring.
Well, I'm not. He was, but that's not what I'm trying to say. You're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. The question is, if you're concerned about Minnesota, then why aren't you concerned about Donald Trump and his association with sexual
We have talked this to death.
No, we haven't.
I told you how I feel about it. You already know. When you have evidence that Donald Trump is covering up for some pedophile, you get back to me. Right now,
Okay, here's the evidence. Here's the evidence.
Innuendo and gossip and nothing more.
Here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. It's real short and quick.
Yeah, he took a picture with Epstein. That's what you say is evidence.
Well, here's the evidence. Short and quick. Donald Trump just moved Ghislaine Maxwell from a maximum security prison to a lower security prison, and she's a pedophile and a sexual offender. Why would he do that?
Evidence of with regard to Trump?
Huh?
What is that evidence of with regard to Donald John Trump, the President of the United States?
His administration. His administration.
You know, she was moved to a prison. How is that protection? And what if she's a witness or something? Maybe he's protected her for that reason.
Listen, let me tell you. She's a pedophile and a sex trafficker. I don't give a fuck. Listen to what I'm saying. I want you to hear what the fuck I'm saying. I want you to hear. I don't give a fuck what she shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what she witnessed. She has no credibility. There is no reason to protect a fucking pedophile, child sex trafficking person and move them to a less harsh prison, Sarge.
When is it? I don't know what kind of law enforcement investigation you've ever done, but just one thing I know. Insiders to any crime are always pertinent to information about the people involved in the crime. Always.
Okay, so
how credible are they, and can their testimony be corroborated?
All right, so I just wrap this up.
Then their testimony will be accepted as factual.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to wrap this up.
You can't win an argument with me.
I'm not trying to win. I just want to confirm.
You're right. You cannot win an argument.
I'm not trying to win. I just want to confirm.
What you know is affected by your Trump derangement syndrome.
Okay, I just want to confirm that you two are protecting Ghislaine Maxwell. That's all I want to confirm right now.
What you kind of demagogue you are? That's pure demagoguery, and you know it.
Well, you're not saying that it's wrong that she was moved.
You know it, and you choose to put it as though I'm the one enabling pedophiles, and you're the one resisting ISIS efforts to get rid of pedophiles. You got some kind of a fucking nerve.
You're not saying that it was wrong for her to be moved at all.
I don't know if it was or not.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You was a fucking cop.
But you won't tell me what it is.
You was a cop. You was a cop, and you know.
If it was or not. You're the one claiming to know.
You was a cop, and you know that child.
You're the one claiming to know. Why don't you
Okay,
tell
so
me?
are you going to keep talking when I talk, or how is this going to work?
I don't know. I don't have enough information. You claim to.
Okay, so you just said that, and you was a cop, and you're telling me as a former police officer, you don't know if a child sex trafficker should be in a low security prison compared to a maximum security prison. That's what you're telling me. And you shut the fuck up. I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking. Yeah, and I'm not done talking. Shut the fuck up. Okay. So you was a piece of shit police officer who don't know what kind of. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
From willing prisoners who have information to give you.
Okay.
Don't know what techniques they use.
So how do you know she have information?
That are used.
How do you know she have information, Sarge?
I don't know.
Okay, so why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
You are saying the very fact that she's transferred to the prison is
And that's what I mean. And that's the truth.
I don't have enough information, no, one way or the other. I'm simply telling you, these are techniques that are used to extract more information from a willing accomplice.
Well, as a former police officer, you don't have the balls to sit up here and tell me that it was wrong for. Okay, Sarge, listen. This is why I mute you. This is why I mute you, because I can't say 2 words before you get in your goddamn feelings with Trump's balls in your motherfucking mouth, and I ain't even said shit. And all I said was Trump supported Ghislaine Maxwell's move to a lower security prison, and you won't let me get out my explanation. Listen, you dumbass, you are a pedophile goddamn protector. You don't mind that children was on Jeffrey Epstein Island with Donald Trump getting raped and sexual abuse by those grown-ass rich men. You have not said one motherfucking thing against it. And now that I got you on the phone and I'm asking you about Donald Trump's association with Ghislaine Maxwell, you saying that she got some type of evidence that Trump is trying to protect her with. And I'm asking you, how do you know she got evidence? You don't. The only reason that you're saying that and shitting on your goddamn career as a police officer is because you're politically tied to supporting goddamn Donald Trump at any cost. It doesn't matter what you did as a career. It doesn't matter what your morals is. It doesn't matter what your values is in life. You are committed like a cult-minded motherfucker to submitting to protecting Donald Trump and his pedophile sex ring. Now, you can sit here and yell at me over the phone, but you're going to let me talk and get my goddamn words out because there's no conversation with you just yelling, motherfucker. God damn. Okay, so you there?
As usual, you again distort what I say in your pathetic efforts to make me look wrong in your abject ignorance. I said I didn't know what information he has or doesn't have. I said the sort of thing that Donald Trump does is often used to aid them in extracting information from someone they might get information for. They give them that consideration in exchange for information. I don't know whether she has or not. You are the one saying that you know he is doing it to protect her simply because she's a pedophile and she wants to cover up for other people. That's what you're saying. I'm the one with the uncertainty. You're the one with the certainty. And you got no fucking evidence to back it up, you dumbass.
The evidence is she was convicted and sentenced. And there is no other reason that Donald Trump would go search out that predator, that pedophile, that child sex abuser. There is no other reason that Donald Trump would search out that fucking criminal. And shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. See, this is what I'm talking about. There is you won't shut the fuck up. You won't shut the fuck up. You will not shut the fuck up. You won't shut the fuck up.
Tyrone.
Huh? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, wait a minute. I think you wrong when you said that. Why else would he search her out? They used to be friends.
That's what I was going to get to if he would have let me.
They used to, yeah, they used to party together. So that's one of the reasons he searched her out. They wanted to find out what she was going to say and what she knew. So she might do have some information, some stuff to say, and some things that she knows.
But we don't know that. We don't know that. But what we do know is that they was friends.
We know they were good friends.
Yeah.
Him and his wife, they was all in the slink clothes and hanging out together at the parties and at Mar-a-Lago. They were good friends. We know that. And
but
I know if I was real good friends and hanging out with them type of people, I would figure it out. I would figure out this is what they do. And everybody owns modeling agencies with young girls. Donald Trump had a modeling agency back then. Very young girls. I would figure it out. And they were having parties on boats with young girls walking around in bikinis and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's why he searched her out. What is this broad what is this broad going to say? Is she going to keep her mouth? Just like Jeffrey Epstein said in those emails that were released. Well, what they said that the dog has involved, well, somebody has involved. So, whatever that was that he said, that's why he searched her out.
Well, see, and I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm glad we're having this conversation because this is exactly what I was saying a couple of weeks ago. That's why Sarge and ABC and people who are supporting Donald Trump do not have any credibility when it talks about sexual abuse, when it talks about child abuse, they don't have any credibility. Sarge came on here, I guess out of the kindness of his heart, wanted us to remind us that ICE was locking up sexual criminals. And that's fine. Let them lock them up. But at the same time, you are a fucking hypocrite because you have not said one word about all the abused children that Donald Trump is now protecting his buddies to hide the information. If you looked at those redacted files that came out of the White House, that's only been 1% released, then you can see every fucking line is blocked the fuck out. Now, the redacted part was supposed to be for the victims. That's what's supposed to have been redacted. Whether you're a politician or a fucking CEO or somebody of prominence in the world, none of those people's names are supposed to be redacted. And Donald and Sarge is sitting on his phone pretending like he care about fucking sex trafficking. Get the fuck out of here. What's up, ABC?
Stop with your goddamn straw man fucking argument. You're the one that wants these people to obstruct ICE in their attempt to round up sexual pedophiles, no matter what the fucking Epstein files are about. That's what you're about right now.
Listen, you so dumb.
You're the one that wants them fucking Bolsheviks out there in Minnesota to disrupt ICE and prevent their activities. And they are rounding up sexual offenders in real fucking time, not some shit from 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's some shit you made up.
You know it.
You're so stupid that you don't realize that Donald Trump is threatening to attack Greenland and going to war with Venezuela because he don't want to be outed. He don't want to be, because he don't want to be outed as a fucking pedophile. That's the dangers of putting this motherfucker in the White House. Because whenever he's compromised with information, this motherfucker will push the goddamn red button just so he won't be named in the fucking goddamn pedophile ring. That's the reason that we're going to Venezuela. That's the reason that he's threatening Villan. That's the reason that he's trying to disrupt NATO, because everybody gonna talk about that shit now instead of his fucking perverted, fucking immoral fucking behavior, like all the other white men in history are fucking children on Epstein Island. What's up, mama's boy?
Peace, family. Oh, damn. I thought he said mama's boy. That don't sound like fucking Sarge. So shut the fuck up. Till he call your motherfucking name, you shut the fuck up.
Hold on, sorry. Let him get it out there. You'll get your turn. Hold on, sorry. Hold on, sorry.
See what happened when you take a motherfucking steroid addict off his steroids? Tyrone, let me talk to you.
Hold on, mama boy. No, hold on, sorry. Let him get it out. Sorry, let him.
I called you a pedophile protector. That's what the fuck I called you. You goddamn right I called you a pedophile. A pedophile protector. Fuck it. You don't fuck around and made me.
Hold on, sorry. Let him get it. Hold on, sorry. Let him get it out. He ain't even been able to get one word out. Hold on, sorry.
It's prime time. And you made me want to show out. So, Sarge, no, I was wrong, Sarge. I was wrong. Did you hear me, Sarge? I was wrong. You are not a pedophile protector. But you are a pedophile protector. Fucking with me, dumb nigga. Now, can I speak? Can I say what the fuck I came here to say? Oh, now you're crying like.
Hold on, sir. Let him get it out.
I'm not gonna hijack the show with your stupid ass. Fuck you. I'll deal with you later.
Hold on, sir. Let him get it out now. He just got on. Go ahead, mama's boy.
Well, brother Tyrone, I appreciate this subject. Hello, sister Lisa, family, everybody. Peace.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a hellraiser right now. So y'all might not like me. But when it comes to this pedophilia and your president, or the president, I'm not going to say your president, I'm sorry about that. He's had a long history of this, but let's just start with Jeffrey Epstein saying himself he was Donald Trump's best friend for 10 to 15 years. Okay, and I have been saying all along that all of this shit, Greenland, NATO, all of this shit, Venezuela, Brazil, Panama, all this shit. And so he doesn't want anybody talking about this because he's fucking guilty. And he's afraid somebody's going to run across the right information. And it's his own goddamn fault. He was the one, Sarge, he was the one that announced on his campaign running for 2024 that he would release the Epstein files. But your ass don't want to remember. He said, but there might be some things with that because he wants to protect his friends. Oh, you don't want to mention that part, Sarge, that he said out of his own mouth.
Said that once or twice.
No, you did not. He wants to protect. Shut up, nigga. Shut up, nigga. I thought you was gonna wait. You can't hold water, motherfucker. Shut up. He said he was gonna protect. He said he wants to protect his friends. Now, if you take that statement, you got you got at least a decent reason why he would move that stank bitch from a maximum security prison to a fucking country club that she ain't supposed to be in. The Department of Bureau of Prisons already said that place that she's at, nobody with a sexual problem or sexual conviction should be there. So the only way she makes it there is when the president tells the Bureau of Prisons, put her there. Because it's not part of their policy. We talked policy last night. And so you should know this. So he's a pedophile protector, possibly a pedophile. We can't get down to the brass tacks because they acting fugazi with the information they supposed to have released, the Jeffrey Epstein file. And Sarge, I appreciate your candor last night. Tonight, I don't know. You're looking stupid. Protecting a pedophile protector. You're looking stupid. And it ain't gonna never look good for you, brother. I don't care if that's the way you want. That's the way you want it. But facts are facts. Donald Trump with the Epstein files that's supposed to be released by the DOJ. Let's look at this from a broader standpoint. And then you take Ghislaine Maxwell, what he's done with her, and you take all these Republicans that don't like Trump. Eric Swalwell put that shit out on the table today, that behind the scenes, he's a dumbass. They don't like him. They don't want to fuck with him. They can't stand it. But when the cameras come on, they on his balls. That's maybe a couple of them is in that damn file, them Epstein files. More pedophilia protection. Okay? Now, with your holier than thou attitude that you are always right, you stand for right, it's hard to push you to do something wrong, which we all know is bullshit. This highlights your hypocrisy. How hard you're holding on to the nuts of this fool. It's plain as the nose on your face. He is protecting what he did with Jeffrey Epstein. He's keeping it quiet. And that's why he moved Ghislaine Maxwell into a minimum security prison, to keep her fucking mouth shut. And if anybody asks you about me, I did nothing. But we a little smarter than that. And that's why the shit ain't going away, because the American people are a little smarter than that. And it's going to be a sad day when Donald Trump is no longer relevant as a president. You ain't going to be dead by then. So you're going to have to answer to the curtain call of pedophile protection. And I'll be standing first person in line to make you own up to it. Peace, family.
Yeah. Now, who's this unknown caller that I just opened?
Hi, Tyrone. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, Joe? Let me say this right quick.
Hey,
As Sarge denied, I'm gonna put this link in the chat room, and then I keep sharing this, and I've been sharing it for the last 10 years with this 13-year-old girl that was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And here's the court documents. Here's the court team. Here's the court document, and it gets graphic. And I know I read it here on the show one time before. It tells it goes in how they beat this girl and while trying to have sex with her. And all this kind of stuff, and it really gets graphic in this court document. There's the link in the goddamn chat room, and all you have to do is click on it and read it. This is nothing Tyrone's made up. And if Sarge was such a big researcher, he would already know this. This is something that I brought to the table years ago that the media is not even talking about. But I think this lady name is out there now, but I can't remember her name. But this is the 13-year-old. Huh?
And Michael Cohen know about it. That's why he's switching up.
Mm-hmm.
After his name done popped up in them Epstein files. Because remember, he was just all against Trump. He's switching up now, talking about how he was coerced by Letitia James to testify against Trump, this, that, because this same case right here, a lot more people is popping up and people are talking about it. And Michael Cohen was the fixer.
Yeah, he's a sleazebag. Yeah.
He's a sleazebag.
What's up, Joe?
Oh yeah, it's about to get salty up in here. Look, did you hear the latest thing that they found out that the Doge people had taken Social Security data and put it on a third-party server?
Yep, I heard that too.
Yeah, and so it begs the question: the Doge supporters that were getting on here talking about how much money they're saving and generating and all that, ABC.
Sarge was a big advocate for Doge. He was his dumbass.
Yeah. Where's the money? Where's the security? Why are the Doge people taking Social Security? Now, there's only two big sacrosanct databases in the country, really. One is the Social Security, just because it has pretty much every American in it. The other is the IRS for the same reason. And so here we have those people caught basically taking data. They don't know what data was taken. They just know that their data was taken and put on the third-party server. Now, why is that important? Well, it seems that the Republicans used to be crying real hard about third-party servers a la Hillary Clinton. So here they are with their hand caught in the cookie jar doing the thing that they raised so much think about with Hillary Clinton. Makes you go, So I'll just leave it at that.
Wow, more hypocrisy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a shame to me. I mean, as much as Sarge and ABC talked about the Democrats and pedophiles and eating baby blood and all this kind of adrenochrome and all this kind of bullshit, and then when the reality is it's their party that was committing these goddamn acts, they are silent as a goddamn rat pissing on cotton. They ain't saying shit about no child sex traffic. They ain't saying shit about child sex abuse. And Sarge tried to insert it into the conversation with ICE, but you can't. You cannot talk about fucking sex trafficking. You are not allowed because you're not being honest and you're being a hypocrite and you're just using one-sided conversation to try to say that Democrats are protecting fucking sex traffickers when it's your ass. You are the one that's protecting sex traffickers. You are the one that don't say shit when you know Donald Trump and Epstein is in those goddamn pictures with that young ass girl. I just shared you this court document. Please read it and you'll see how disgusting the person that you're defending is.
Oh, and by the way, Tyrone, did you see the article in the Russian newspaper that was praising Trump for wanting to invade Greenland?
That's all bullshit. Vladimir Putin playing Trump. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So I mean, here we are, basically with distraction of the week, and there's so many distractions and so much bullshit being thrown, at the wall that it's hard to keep up with it all, And so I remember Sarge. Let's go down a couple of Sarge's greatest hit. The Ukraine army was supposed to have collapsed by now. Let's see. Oh yeah, Greenland was supposed to be, the people of Greenland were supposed to be favorable to the U.S. taking them over, according to him, according to a poll that he quoted. Yeah, okay, we'll see where that went last weekend with all the protests. I mean, the list goes on, and it makes you wonder sometimes how much bullshit an individual can consume and still say there's a kernel in there of nutrition. And still say there's a nugget of nutrition. And so, I mean, it amazes me that someone that's reasonably intelligent seems to be so mired in the bullshit that they can't see that, this guy's painting turds and serving to them as pigs. And it's mind blowing. I can't. It's like, what's next? We're only a year in.
Well, no, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not surprised anymore. And I understand the cult-like mentality of people like Sarge and ABC and the Republicans. They just in a cult, and there's nothing that we can do or say to change their mind. They're committed to hating on liberals, hating on Democrats, hating on black people, hating on immigrants. That is their talking point. That's what they live and breathe. So I just talk to these people because it's entertaining. Sarge, I appreciate you being for a damn dummy for the show. But there's no fixing it. There's no fixing it, Joe. But, to give credit to what Lisa was saying a couple of weeks ago or for some time now, that the country is probably is seem like it's waking up. I seen data to support that, they not liking what Donald Trump is doing, especially since ICE has hit the streets in Minnesota. So hopefully, Sarge and ABC will be the only ones still holding on to this Donald Trump and his fantasy of ruling the goddamn country like a goddamn king. But it kind of fucks me up with Sarge, because he completely contradicts himself from what he was saying years ago.
Exactly.
And this is why I know that it's a cult. Because Sarge would not, he would not stand for any violation of the Constitution, and he would read that thing by the letter, and he'll try to hold Democrats to the letter of the goddamn Constitution. Now he don't give a fuck about the Constitution. He came on here and justifies ICE's fucking unconstitutional acts earlier tonight by trying to validate it with some more bullshit. So Sarge is in a cult. That's what's going on here.
Well, you know what though, Tyrone? I'm glad you mentioned that about the owning the libs thing, because, that's a slogan. That's sloganeering. When in actuality, Trump is fucking the very people that put him in office. Remember that healthcare plan that they said that they were going to have? 3 months, let's see. I think at the time they said they would have a healthcare plan in a month, and now what is it, 3-4 months later, and there's still no healthcare plan and no mention of one? I mean, at the end of the day, how much bullshitting can you do to the people, man?
But he can continue, because just this week he was promising $2,000 checks again. He's trying to get his poll numbers up. He's trying to get his favorability up by offering people money. And if he did give $2,000, that wouldn't help the damage that he caused.
No, that wouldn't even get you back. That wouldn't even get you close to solving.
No, it's like his peace group. He said that anybody that didn't want to. I'm sorry, I get Greenland and the peace group mixed up. But I remember he said something like he was going to tariff the hell out of those folks who didn't go along with it. And the stock market went down. Then he turned around and said, "Well, we're not going to do this tariffs." I mean, come on,
Well, all of that is so they won't talk about Epstein, Joe. That's what that is, because right before he attacked Venezuela, that Epstein snowball was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the next thing you know, and as a matter of fact, he attacked Venezuela on the day he was supposed to do something legally. What was he supposed to do? Oh, he was supposed to explain the redactions on the file or some bullshit. But that's the day he attacks Venezuela.
Yeah,
it's all a cover up, Tyrone.
Yeah. Even the redactions on the file, they said they were doing it to protect the people in it. But The people that need to be protected are the victims,
Right.
not the perpetrators. So what are they redacting? You know, if you're a perpetrator, if you are guilty of the crime, are you saying that you need to redact this person's name because they're guilty of a crime? I mean, I don't get it. I always thought the redaction was to protect the innocent, not to protect the guilty. But hey, what do I know, right? You know, according to them, I'm just a liberal, a dumb libtard. What do I know?
With Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, Tyrone, let me tell you about a conversation I had with Sarge. And it was a conversation about women getting raped. And his part of that conversation, his statement was that an accuser should stand in the town square and name her accuser. That's what he wants to see. He don't want accusers waiting or going through whatever emotional difficulties they fuck that. Get your ass in the town square and point out your accusers. Now you and I and even the raccoon trapped in my next door neighbor's house knows that doesn't work in our society. You stand out in the town square and name your accusers. The friends of the accusers is gonna try to kill you. They're gonna try to defame you. They're gonna try to harass you. That's the reason why we have protections in this country.
Yeah, and Donald Trump ain't afraid to get on Truth Socials and sending people to attack people. I mean, you got evidence. You got judges being threatened. You got fucking Letitia James, James Comey, Jack Smith. Whoever is against Donald Trump would get on social media and tell his people to go after that person.
So that explains why Sarge is as stupid as he is, because he don't give a fuck about an accuser either. He don't care about the victims, and you hear it in his rhetoric.
Tell me you'll keep me on mute.
I told your ass that shit that night you didn't care about no accusers any. I told you that night the same thing I'm telling your ass now.
You dirty girl good motherfucker. I'm going to tell you what I said, you son of a bitch. I said Article 6 of the Constitution that you keep telling me I have no fidelity toward, and you people have all the fidelity for, says in the Fifth, Sixth fucking Amendment that the accused shall have the right to confront the witnesses against them and to have the means to compel them to testify.
That's in a court of law. Not a town square, you dope. That's in a court of law, not a town square, you dope.
He's supposed to know who accuses him, and once he finds out, he's free to talk about it. Fuck you.
Well, there you go. I don't even have to say any more. He said it himself. Y'all heard it.
You and your stupid ideas. You can go to hell.
Goddamn pedophile protecting ass motherfucker.
I'm going with the Constitution, not Mama's boy.
Good Lord, you all right there, Sarge? You sound like you going through some things.
Oh no, this motherfucker's gonna blatantly lie about what I said. Expect me to shut up.
I just said the exact same thing you just said, but you said they need to stand out in the town square. I'll never forget that statement. I'll never forget that statement as long as I live. Because the first thing I said to myself, you sound like an atypical chauvinist. That when a woman says you did something, you want to confront them instead of going sitting your ass in court and defending yourself. That's exactly what the fuck you just said right there. I ain't distorted the goddamn thing. You didn't even bring up the goddamn Constitution that night. We wasn't even talking about no constitutionality. We was just talking about if a woman gets raped and she wants to fucking hold her accuser accountable, you said she should stand in the town square and point out her accuser. That's what you said. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because where the fuck I get the shit from?
You're a goddamn liar. I said no such thing about no damn town square.
Hey, you know that Alzheimer kicking in on you, Sarge. You already can't hear. Now you can't remember. You already can't hear. Now you can't remember. You're getting old.
Stack of demagogic jail yard bullshit I've heard in my life.
You are the biggest demagogue on this line. Sarge, you are the biggest demagogue on this line.
Motherfucker, you just make shit up. It's really hard to defend against motherfuckers willing to make any fucking thing up. And that's what you do all the time.
Sarge, you know yourself you said that. That's why you fighting so hard right now. Because you know you said it.
But tonight, I'm through with you. Go to hell. You're on ignore. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to deal with a goddamn liar like you.
The facts are, Sarge.
The
facts are, Sarge, is that you just forget about everything constitutional and legal when it comes to the Republic.
I take notes. I ain't like you. Just make sure and forget what you said 1 hour to the next. I take notes.
So let's do it like this right here. Is any of the activities that ICE are performing right now, are they illegal?
He don't know.
Since I don't know everything every ICE agent is doing, now how can I expect to answer that question?
Well, just of what you know.
Whether they do anything illegal or not. I know the things you say are illegal. The
Okay.
things you point out are not wrong.
Of what you know. I'm not saying that you know every ICE agent. Of what you've seen on the media.
Well, that was the way you put the question to me. You
Okay, so
anything you're doing is illegal.
well, I can only. So you say no, right?
Based on the things, let's put it this way: the things you say are illegal, 99% of the time they're not illegal.
Okay. So what about them wearing masks and just start there. What about the wearing the mask?
That is a uniform prescribed for them by their agency. Take it up with their agency or take it up with Congress.
Okay, so I wouldn't tie that to a legal thing. You're probably right. That's probably a policy. What about them walking up to people and snatching them out their cars?
If they're arresting them legitimately, that's what you do when they resist.
Well, they're not. They're just.
Give me enough information. Why don't you be more specific?
Okay, because I'm assuming that you're paying attention to what ICE is doing.
I haven't seen a single illegal arrest in the hundreds of videos I've watched that ICE officers done. I haven't seen one that was illegal. They were all for cause.
Okay, so what about in protests, whenever they're shooting pepper balls and spraying protesters with mace? Is that legal?
Are the protesters complying with the demands? Are they behaving in a riotous manner? If so, it is justified.
No, they're not. They're just standing there and they'll walk up to them and spray mace.
Okay, when they tell them to get beyond a certain area and they continually refuse to comply, and there's many of them, yep, that's what you do.
Okay, so you're okay with them spraying mace, shooting pepper balls?
Done for that reason, yes. If not, no.
And you're okay with them snatching people out of the car?
What did I just say? I said if it is done for the reason I said that is legitimate, yes. If it is done just because they don't like them and they're mad at them, then no. But you haven't made it clear as to which one it is and why.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that everything that you just agreed with is illegal. It's against the Constitution.
Oh, yes, that's the great legal scholar Lyrone is wrong about everything that goes to the Supreme Court. I mean, every fucking thing you say you're wrong about. I mean, you haven't been right yet.
I've been right about everything. But when it comes
to... You've been right on one thing.
I've been right about...
off the ballot, you were wrong about that. You're wrong about all that other shit about him having immunity perhaps within the scope of his authority. You're wrong about Mar-a-Lago. I could give you a list of all the hoaxes you and your people have fallen for. It'd just knock you out. You want to hear all the hoaxes that have been thoroughly debunked that you motherfuckers put up as gospel for years? Now you let other people ramble all fucking night long. I'll tell you every one of them, and I'll tell you right now, you cannot say that any of them have been held up under scrutiny. You want to hear it? Have you got the guts?
I don't give a shit. You can talk. I mean, shit. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Listen up now. First of all, the Russia collusion hoax. biggest ones. Y'all fell hook, line, and sinker for that, and that come up a big fat zero. The 2020 election was the most secure election in American history. We know, even if Biden was legitimately elected, there were enough irregularities in that election to certainly not say it was the most secure. Trump called neo-Nazis fine people. That was a big lie. We got a speech. He didn't say any such thing. You play back the speech, you see he didn't say that. If you get vaccinated, you won't get COVID. Jussie Smollett. All you motherfuckers are running behind that. But Bubba Wallace
That's
had
a
a
lie.
garage door noose, and they put up a garage door with the Ku Klux Klan that said we're going to lynch NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace. Hunter
I
Biden's
done heard three sis
Hunter
so
Biden's
far.
laptop was Russian
I heard 3 of them too.
Arlington kids.
Well, that's 4 now. With the laptop, that's 4.
Chinese weather
That's
balloons.
4, yeah.
The Kavanaugh rape. You know, Trump said drinking bleach would end COVID. Y'all believe
He
that?
did say that. He did. He didn't say it in COVID. He said, have you thought about giving them bleach to clean them out? That's what he said. So you misconstruing that shit.
I got the speech transcript. He didn't say that.
What the fuck wrong with this dude,
You
man?
didn't say any fucking thing.
Oh, God.
All right, Nick.
Hey, I didn't say bleach. He said bleach. He said bleach, nigga. He said bleach.
Sorry. You told me I could go through the whole thing.
Go ahead, man.
He's interrupting me. He's accused me of interrupting a little while ago, and I was.
Well, there you go. There you go. Tit for tat, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up.
Just shut up, nigga. Can I finish now, Tyrone?
Go ahead.
I'm not babbling. You're going to recall every one of these hoaxes.
Okay.
The Russians bombed their own pipeline. The Trump P tape. The COVID lab leak was a conspiracy theory. Border agents whipped the migrants. Remember that one? They were just using normal horse riding techniques, and they got accused of using whips on poor little migrants trying to break into the country. Trump saved nuclear secrets in Mar-a-Lago. The Steele dossier. Russian bounties on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. A Muslim travel ban. That was another lie. Ghost of Kiev. The Trump built cages for migrant kids. Trump overfed koi fish in Japan. Trump tax cuts benefited only the rich. Cloth masks prevent COVID. And SUV kill parade marches in Wisconsin. Trump used tear gas to clear car for a Bible photo. Don't say gay was in a bill. Ivermectin is a horse dewormer and not for human use. Mostly peaceful protests. Trump overpowered a Secret Service agent to grab the wheel of the Beast limousine. Officer Sicknick was murdered by January 6th protesters. January 6th was an insurrection. And Trump mocked the reporter's disability. Every one of them was a fucking hoax.
What? They got this nigga on camera at a fucking rally, fucking imitating the disabled person. So how the fuck do you say that's, man, you need to shut the, you done said like about 9, 10 lies.
The reporter said that he was mocking a person with disability. He was using that, whatever goofy thing he did, to refer to all reporters. It wasn't just the one reporter. There was a fucking reporter trying to say it was him, and that's how that lie got started.
That's a motherfucking
lie. That's a lie. And let me point out another one, because let me point out some more.
Hey, we get to respond. You got through talking for like 5 minutes. We get to respond to your lies, man. Shut the fuck up. Let us respond to your lies.
Yeah, let's make it good.
Okay, the Jussie Smollett, that's a lie. I don't know, maybe white folks fell for that. Black folks didn't fall for that. And we got called out by the LGBTQ plus IA community for not standing up for Jussie Smollett, because we knew he was lying. So that's a lie. The average black person knew Jussie was lying, and that's the LGBTQ plus IA. All of them groups called out the black community because we wasn't standing up marching for Jussie, because
well, you're
we
right.
knew
Michelle Obama isn't the average black person now, is she? Neither is Kamala Harris. They ain't the average black person.
Okay, so do that. Some, of course,
people
could you let somebody, can you blink a let
Let
somebody
him finish.
speak,
Let him finish, Sarge.
Of course you're gonna have some black people, one here sprinkled there. They stood up for Jesse, but for the most part, the overwhelming majority of black people did not march, did not stand up for Jesse. And I'll pull up the article where the different LGBTQ plus IA community, they were calling us out for that because we didn't stand up for him because it sounded like a lie. So you can't just say, well, what about Michelle Obama? What about Kamala Harris? That you're not making you're not making a good argument there. The majority of black people did not stand up for Jussie Smollett. We did not, and I pull up the articles to prove it. And they were calling us all out, and we thought the best way to help him out that lie, just like old dude told that joke, was keep our damn mouth shut, and hopefully he come out of this somehow. I never believed that damn story. You can throw some Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris and them who stood up for him. That's not all black folks. Those are sprinkles. The majority of us did not believe him. And we were called out for it because we didn't stand up and march for him. What are you talking about? And some other ones that you just said that was not true. You said so many, I done forgot them all by now. But that's all.
Well, hold on, Sarge. Let me do. I know you want to go, Mama's boy. Hold on, Sarge. Let me do this one right here. When you said the Muslim travel ban, guys, look at the screen. Executive Order 13769. Executive order titled "Protecting the Nation from Foreign Terrorist Entry into the United States," labeled the Muslim ban by Donald Trump. Labeled the Muslim ban by Donald Trump and his supporters and critics alike, commonly known as Trump supporters, commonly known as such, commonly referred to as the Muslim travel ban, Trump travel ban, the Trump Muslim travel ban, or the Muslim immigration ban. Was the executive order signed by Donald Trump. Excerpts from the extent it was which blocked by various courts. It was in effect from January 27, 2017 to March 6, 2017. So we know you're lying. So that's my proof. Go ahead, Mama's boy.
The Mueller investigation was the one that tied the Trump campaign to the Russians. So you need to complain and argue with the Mueller investigation. All we were doing over here was saying that because it was in the Mueller investigation. Mueller said it.
Who is a Republican?
He didn't have the balls to bring it to fruition, but he put it in his report that there was some dealing. It don't matter. He put it in the report, motherfucker. That's the truth.
Okay, so let's talk about Mueller. Hold on.
I got this. Go ahead. He didn't say there was no evidence. He said there wasn't enough evidence.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Now who's splitting hairs?
Listen, he said the contact was made, right? But he didn't have enough evidence. Well, no, it ain't our fault either. These are facts that are put, they in the record now, nigga.
I see what Tyrone has got on the screen. Executive Order 13769. Look what it says in there, Tyrone. Commonly known as.
Now he's splitting hairs. Now he's splitting. He talking about me splitting.
No, so let's address this.
Executive Order, though.
Let's address this. Back up. Okay. Where you read commonly known as, the sentence above that, it says label. Shut up. Okay, the sentence above that, the president of the United States called it the Muslim ban. Just read it. That's what you said. There was no Muslim ban. You said that it was a conspiracy. You said it wasn't true.
You show me any public speech where he calls it that, and I will give you $1,000.
Do you want me to dig that up? Sorry. Do I have to dig that up? Do I have to dig it up? Listen, somebody known for Listen, somebody known for calling the coronavirus the China virus. Are you saying this man is above calling this the Muslim ban?
He's a lying motherfucker.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Tyrone, don't get bogged
Go
down.
ahead,
Don't
Elisa.
get bogged down in that one.
Go ahead, Elisa.
Okay. As far as grabbing the Secret Service member, as far as grabbing the Secret Serviceman by the neck, according to testimony given to the House Select Committee on January 6, 2021, former President Trump is alleged to have lunged toward the neck clavicle area of his head of the Secret Service agent Bobby Engel. The account was provided by Cassidy Hutchinson, a former top aide to Trump's White House, and Chief of Staff Mark Meadows testified on the oath that the story was relayed to her by the White House Deputy Chief of Staff of Operations Tony Ontario, who was also present in the president's vehicle, an armored SUV, not limousine. The incident, January 6, 2021, after his rally speech, Trump intended to join the supporters marching to the U.S. Capitol building. The refusal, the head of security detail, Bobby Engel, informed Trump that they did not have the access and it is not secure to make the trip if the crowds were armed. Trump's reaction, Trump reportedly became irate and said something to the effect of, I am the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now. The altercation, when Engel refused again, Trump reached from the back seat towards the front of the vehicle, grabbed the steering wheel. Engel grabbed his arm to stop him, and Trump then used his free hand to lunge forward at Engel's neck. Hutchinson's testimony, when Ornato recounted the story, he motioned with his hand toward his clavicle throat area, contradicting accounts. While Engel was present and Ontario told Hutchinson, the story did not contradict it at the time. Reports following the testimony indicated that both Engel and Ornato were prepared to testify under oath that the physical altercation of the steering wheel did not happen, though they confirmed Trump was angry but not going to the Capitol. She testified to the Senate hearing committee. So I guess she's lying because they got scared and changed their mind. That shit happened.
Yeah, she's lying because of the nature of the partition between the passenger compartment and the driver. It's damn near impossible, especially for a man of Trump's age and agility, to do what she described. She's a lying perjurer.
You don't know that. You
No, it's not.
you don't know that.
I've seen the construction of the goddamn thing. They got diagrams. You can see them for yourself.
You've never been in that vehicle, and you don't know what's possible.
What did I just say? Go look at the diagrams for the.
You don't know what's possible in that vehicle, so you're saying something that's not true.
And she don't either. She's a lying perjurer.
Okay, whatever. I mean,
everybody's a liar except Donald Trump. Everybody's a liar.
Contradictory evidence. Not everybody. That lying bitch in the white dress.
Well, what about the orange bitch in the White House? He's a liar. You lie all the time.
Well, I expect you to call him a liar. She was testifying, though, under oath before Congress. That's why I refer to her as such.
Well, shouldn't she be in jail now?
Maybe they decided they didn't want to bring the case. It was the Biden administration, after all.
Well, the reason that she's not in jail is because she probably won't lie, Sarge.
I think she was. Again.
No, look, hold on. Trump controlled the Department of Justice. If they wanted to lock Cassidy Hutchinson up, he got the power. He got all three branches. He got the House, the Senate, and the fucking Supreme Court. So why the fuck wouldn't he bring up on perjury charges? He went after Letitia James. He went after James Comey. He even went after his ex-Secretary of State. So why wouldn't he bring her up on charges? The reason that he don't is because she was telling the truth. Who's this unknown caller? I just opened your line.
You made an attempt to debunk 3 of these lies so far. Why don't you go on with another?
Good evening. What's going on, man?
What's up, Jay?
Make an attempt to debunk one of the other lies.
So, Sarge, Jack Smith.
That's exactly where I was getting ready to go. That's exactly where I was getting ready to go, big dog. You must have been reading my mind, Jay New York.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something, Sarge. The court, Sarge. Finally, the courts are waking up to the bullshit. Sarge, listen. Possibility your president either impeached if the Democrats win, or possible, Sarge. Again, I don't think it's 100%, but I think it's a possibility that they're gonna go after Donald Trump after he leaves office, Sarge.
I know.
And Sarge, they might be able to convict him. They might be able to convict him. And I think what it is that not that they're realizing. I think they're stupid anyway. But I think that there's a limit. You can shit as much as you want, but there's a line. There's a line to everything. So I think that, even the people that are biting their teeth and, are grinding their teeth and biting their nails, their fingernails off, saying, "Oh my God," and again, they're with him, but there's a limit to everything, and I think that he's passing the line. And it's funny. That's one part, but let's just talk about this, Sarge. What happened to the tariffs, Sarge? Let's talk about that too. Tariffs, Sarge. Sarge.
Yeah, I got an answer for you already.
All right, so talk to me about Jack Smith and talk to all the people.
Wait, which way was Jack Smith and the terrorists? Come on,
No. You could go one thing at a time.
Now you just ran a laundry list of shit, and you want motherfucker.
We stop to deal with one thing at a time.
Two subject matters.
What an entitled piece of shit.
Two subject matters, Sarge. Is that hard for you, Sarge? We don't gotta do a whole long laundry list like.
All right, let's deal with terrorists first, okay?
Yeah.
Trump used the leverage of the terrorists to get what he wanted on the Greenland deal. It's not like he just dropped the tariffs when didn't get anything in return. That's what he negotiated with Mark Rutte about. The NATO secretary who brought it back to the EU to get the framework for this deal. It worked in his favor. All he did was not impose the free.
Man, you need to take them rosy-colored glasses off.
Wait a minute! All he did was not go with the increased tariffs. He still got the basic tariffs that he had.
What was the deal? What deal did he get?
There was no deal. He had to stop because it was fucking up the stock market.
He put his foot in his mouth, right? It's almost, again, he started the fire, wanted to, I'm going to save the day with the fire extinguisher that he put the fire. He burned
the arsonist
the building.
Putting out the fire, right?
Right, like this is the thing, Sarge. If there's no problem, everything was working the way they were, or maybe things wasn't so perfect, but the thing is, it's like leave well alone, or it's running okay, but he wants to put, he want to dab into this and then make it worse, or something that's not a problem, create a problem. Then things don't work out the way he wants it because he doesn't have the strategy. Is no good, and then he has to walk that back, Sarge. And then he makes an excuse about it. Say, "Oh no, this or that," but there's no reason. There's a lot of things that I would just say. And again, this is not about whether I like him or not. I just see that he creates problems that weren't there, or he exacerbates them. So he makes them worse than what they are. And then he tries to come to the rescue like he's Superman. This shit is crazy. It's just insane. But I think that, again, everything has its limits. So I think that there's going to be a lot of caving. But again, I want to talk about Jack Smith, Sarge. And let's talk about the overall fucking tariffs. Good. Let's talk about Jack Smith, Sarge. Come on. What happened?
What? Hey, you debunking one of his talking points about the fucking documents in Mar-a-Lago now. You just blew his shit up with that shit. You stole my thunder, man. You stole my thunder.
How's he gonna blow me up? He ain't even presented his case. He just said, "Okay, so what about Jack Smith? What? That's making a case. That makes it in your mind, in your little sympathetic peanut gallery, but it don't make it in anybody else's mind. What is your argument, Jay?"
No, I'm asking you what happened with Jack Smith. Sarge, I didn't have an argument. I asked you what happened with Jack Smith.
You want me to fill in the blanks for you?
No, you don't have to fill in any blanks.
No.
I'm asking you what happened.
He's too slow. He's too slow to figure it out, Jay. He's too slow to figure it out, man.
I'm gonna let you make your case. I'm not gonna do it for you.
Sarge, listen.
Well, I got a case.
All I can say is this, Sarge, and I'll move out the way. Look, what I understand is what he said was already known, right? And it just shows you your president is corrupted. And so, again, he's now saying it now. Some people say he should have said that before. It should have, the way he went about it. Okay. But the truth is that more than one person that has credentials that's up there are, telling how your president is corrupt. And also, he wants to go after them.
Alexa, turn off the living room lights.
They sell some truth. And then notice, like, whatever, even if it's not something that's, like a prosecutor or something like that, but if anybody that says something about him that he doesn't like, he wants to go after them. It's crazy.
He already said it was in the testimony today when Jack Smith was at the hearing that Donald Trump sent out a text. Anybody coming after me, I'm coming after them. Right. So there you go right there. And don't be so hard on Jack Smith. He was under a gag order. Eileen Cannon put him under a gag order. He couldn't talk about the shit, and he still can't. He can only say so much about it. He can't get into the details, right? But hold on, Sarge. We gonna test your veracity right now, because now you got you got all these laundry lists, and you dealing with people coming back. So I'm gonna go on and throw one on the plate for you that you slung out there. Hold on. More than 50 former senior intelligence officials have signed onto a letter outlining their belief that the recent disclosure of emails alleging belonging to Joe Biden's son, quote, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation, unquote. The letter signed on Monday centers around a batch of documents released by the New York Post last week that purported to tie to the Democratic nominee to his son Hunter's business dealings under the banner headline, Biden secret emails, unquote. The Post reported it was given a copy of Hunter Biden's laptop hard drive by President Donald Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who said he got it from a Mac shop owner in Delaware who also alerted the FBI. While the letter's signatories presented no new evidence, they said their national security experience had made them, quote, deeply suspicious that the Russian government played a significant role in this case, unquote, and cited several elements of the story that suggest the Kremlin's hand at work. Boom, bam, and that was published. What was that? Let me go up here. This Politico, and it was published. If I can go up here, there it is. 10/19/2020 at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Another debunk.
Wait, so you don't believe that laptop was Hunter Biden's? Is that it?
Sarge, like
I'm gonna hold on. I'm trying to answer you, man. Shut the fuck up.
Hunter Biden or not?
I believe the 50 former senior intelligence officials that say the Hunter Biden laptop has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. That's what I believe.
Examined by forensic electronic experts who said it didn't. So that letter is a bit obsolete.
Sarge, I think this shit the walls are caving in.
Citation for that. Hold on. What is your citation for that?
Oh, please, the congressional hearings. James Comer.
Bruh.
And that's good.
You talking about the Comer? You talking about the Comer hearings?
Republican.
You talking about the Comer hearings?
Yeah.
Another motherfucker holding on to Donald Trump's nuts.
You believe John Brennan? You believe
another motherfucker holding? No, I'm gonna believe 50 career motherfucking people, 50 career intelligence officers, motherfucker. Fuck Comer. Comer can't even get dingleberries out of his goddamn drawers. And you want me to believe that, nigga? Get the fuck out of here.
privilege, many of them, and they were proven perjurers.
You can believe Comer, but you are a homer. You are a homer for the Republican Party, and you are a sycophant for your president. So you can believe that bullshit.
For perjurers, you are an apologist for them.
Sarge, I cannot believe what's going on in this time. You know,
Can we do
again,
one thing at a time
I'm
here?
gonna tell you something. Look,
I'm over here by myself. I got to deal with all you niggas up here.
No. I'm just saying that, and this is not even
One
towards
thing
you.
at a time. I don't mind you differing with me. Just do one thing at a time.
I'm just saying I just can't believe how everything that he, you know, everybody, like I said, even the first time, everybody's wrong but him. He's the innocent person that everybody's picking on because he's such a nice guy that, you know, and he's so honest that, you know, people are picking him. The whole fucking shit is corrupted but him. Everybody else is a bad guy but him. The Republicans that support him, they're good people. What he does is okay, and everybody else is bad. And then when a Republican says that he's wrong or that he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing, they're wrong or they're you know, what I notice is this. He tries to play, and again, this is the truth. He tries to play the role like he's a mafia guy, which, again, I don't know why people give him that credit like he's some tough dude. He's only the power that they give him because he's weak. The only thing is that he got the power because he's president and, you know, the people around him, they give him that power. But he tries to play the game of mafia like, oh, well, if you go against me and you talk publicly about the corruption shit that I did, I'm going after you, or you're a liar and that you're this and that. He never keeps quiet about it. He always got to talk bad about the person. He's talking down. And it's like, you know, it shows that even, again, with people with class and the way these rich people supposed to be, he's not defining, he's not showing that. He's just showing his true colors. And again, it just shows that his emotions play a lot into it. You know, his ego. You know, somebody said something bad about him. You know, I mean, if he's doing the right thing, he should just continue doing what he's supposed to be doing, you know, and not mention. But again, it just shows you his behavior. Again, he breaks down very easily, you know, and for a person that's supposed to be a leader of a country or the most powerful country, it doesn't look good, man. You know, we look really bad. I talk to people around the world, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on in the U.S., man? What is going on with y'all guys?" People from different parts of the country. I can tell you, I talk to people in Spain. I talk to people in Brussels, Belgium. I talk to people in England and in the UK. I talk to people in Germany. They're like, what the fuck is going on in the U.S.? Your country is looking crazy right now, like unseen. I've talked to people in South Africa. It's fucking crazy what this country looks like outside. Now we're inside, so we have a different angle. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk to people that really, again, working people, you know, in all different type of classes, except, you know, the super high rich, you know, people that they say they cannot believe how this country is turned upside down, and they mention the current president, and it's not good things. It's just sad to see this country go down the drain. And again, he's I mean, he looks as guilty as shit with all the things that he does, and it's not helping. I would just say this: all this fucking mayhem and all this fucking drama. How is the American citizen benefiting, health-wise and financially, Sarge? How is that making the American, you and I, or me, right now? Because you're comfortable in your place. What about the others, other people that is trying to prosper and do good and you know, and evolve in this country? How does that make it better? Where am I getting a check with all the drama that he's doing and all these different things with tariffs? Oh, I'm going to take over Greenland, bombing and taking over Venezuela, and all this fucking drama, right? Tariffs, all these different things. How are we benefiting in a positive way? How is it making America stronger when, again, people are talking in other countries? It's not looking good. It's rubbing leaders the wrong way, even though they might have to still deal with him. It doesn't look good, Sergeant. I'm just saying. What are you? How are you seeing it? What glasses you have on?
I'm waiting to
the
answer.
Trump glasses? Does Trump got a pair of glasses?
I got an answer.
Go.
Okay, look, first of all, I got 2 answers, 2 points I'd like to raise. Let me make an immediate response to your point about how are the American people benefiting from all the drama.
I'm an American, Sarge. You tell me. I'm an American. Talk about me. I don't want to hear about these invincible Americans.
I am relatively comfortable. I'm talking about most Americans. And let me tell you how they are going to benefit when Trump successfully resolves.
How am I benefiting? Talk to me. I'm an American citizen.
Situation. I can't speak to it. I'm not even going to make it.
But how are all Americans benefiting? I'm an American.
Of the general benefit of the American people. That's
I'm talking about me too. So I'm an American.
I'm
so
you talk to the general benefit. Okay? I wouldn't dare to try to be your financial advisor. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is speak to how his policies are going to enable the betterment of their own situations generally. First of all, you got this situation with H-1Bs. We are now discovering that H-1B is one massive fraud racket to get in aliens from outside to take America's jobs to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of them that are unnecessarily issued because visa judges and visa officials are being paid off to do it. Now, when that gets uncovered, all of this is being uncovered because of the results of what DOJ has done, and now we're finding out what's happening in Minnesota, and all this stuff is starting to come together. When Americans don't have to compete against foreigners for jobs they are illicitly obtaining through H-1B visas, thousands of Americans will benefit from that alone, but that's not all. The illegal alien population in this country is literally taking hundreds of thousands of jobs that will be fewer in an age of AI. We don't need to have all these illegals here to compete with for an increasing scarcity of jobs that will be taken away by AI. Donald Trump getting rid of them is helping out Americans in that respect. $19 trillion of investment is coming into the United States in the form of investment capital,
That's a pledge.
in the form of ability to expand manufacturing bases to turn this country into the manufacturing power that it always has been and always should be. That's going to benefit Americans greatly. All of these things together are going to benefit the American people. I don't know why you can't see it. The problem with most of y'all is you want an instant fix overnight, and it's not going to be quite that quick. But it will be relatively fast. I can guarantee you $19 trillion. Are you kidding? Nobody's going to see it other than the rich? That's bullshit.
No, wait. Okay, so how am I going to see a piece of that $19 trillion? Am I going to see a check coming in? Because remember, he promised $5,000. Remember? You forgot about that $5,000 and then the $2,000.
That you won't.
So wait, Sarge, he already promised $5,000 and then promised $2,000. So are we getting $7,000? Can you confirm and guarantee that what he said? Wait, Sarge, hold on, Sarge. He said it. He said it already, and we can bring it.
I can.
Sarge, listen. There was audio. There's audio and video of him saying that we're gonna get $5,000 and that we're gonna get $2,000. After that, he started saying, "Oh, we're gonna get $2,000." Am I gonna see $7,000 check? Where and when? Talk to me.
If and when he gets the assistance of Congress for you to get it, but not until then. So I can't answer that.
That sounds like a never, Jay. That sounds like a motherfucking never, nigga.
If they can give it to Ukraine, why can't they give it to the American people? All right, but look, let me say another thing too. Now let me go back to Jack Smith, okay? Jack Smith. Now, first of all, Jack Smith said that Trump tried to overturn the election. That's true. He did. But the mechanisms he was trying to use was A, the First Amendment, his right to speak to a government official about things he considered were irregular about the election, and the evidence he cited to indicate that it was. Number two, the Electoral Count Act of 1877, which literally allows you, if you are successful, to overturn the results of an election, and Article 12, or rather Amendment 12 of the Constitution. So he wasn't trying to do it illegally. Yes, he was trying to overturn the election, but not through illegal means.
What kind of new fool? What kind of new? Let me just say this right quick.
Fake electors play into that.
What kind of new fool shit did I just listen to? Well, this is some new fool shit. So everything Sarge said was bullshit. Every goddamn thing you just said was bullshit. We have election procedures in this town. Shut the fuck up. I just listened to you lie. So shut up.
Ignorant ass lie bullshit.
I just listened to you lie. So everything you just said, you made up. And in your head, you convinced yourself. Okay, well, I can't talk. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
What does it say?
I don't know. What
you don't know. I know what it says, and I'll tell you.
So go ahead.
God damn, I swear this nigga tell me I'm just making it's a fucking
Look,
law.
hey, if I don't, hey, look, if I don't hear he's allowed to put forth fake electors, then it don't matter what the fuck he reads.
No, he wasn't gonna put forth fake electors. You're lying.
No, but my point is the election system in this country has been working fine up until Donald Trump. Up until Donald Trump, everything was fine. We've had presidents. We've had people pass away in office. We had people get sick in office. We've had elections on time. The transfer was cool. All that shit. But all up until Donald Trump, you get Sarge come make up this whole bullshit about our American election system. That don't make no goddamn sense. You crazy.
You know it don't make sense.
Let me make my case, nigga, because now you call me lying twice about this.
You is lying.
We ain't never heard this fantastic story in the past. It only happens with Donald Trump.
By the Congress of the United States in 1887, which is still law. It ain't changed a bit much. And that's what he was going to rely upon. When the January 6th insurrection that you accuse him of fomenting short-circuited that process.
He the one called him up there.
Well, you some kind of new fool.
You don't know anything. And then you call me a liar.
Okay, well, hold on. Then be quiet. I'm gonna tell you what I know. The ladies that took out the protest, I guess, license or whatever that you have to get to be on the mall for a protest. You have to get fucking. They have to give you permission to do it. They didn't even plan on marching to the White House.
Permits.
Okay. The permit they got was just to be right there in that little mall where they did where Trump told them to go to the White House, right? And what happened was Trump found out about it, and he told everybody, "See you at January 6th. It'll be wild." And he was the one that put up the money for them to be able to go to the Capitol from that protest. He made sure that they could go to the Capitol because they wasn't even going to do that. Okay? That's one. Two, his motherfucking ass told them to go up there, and you have to fight like hell. Okay? Or you're not going to have a country anymore. How the fuck you going to sit here? The man, it's live on video that he fomented. Him and Rudy Giuliani got those people wildly excited. Not to mention, coming from the testimony that was given to Congress, he knew those people were armed and wanted them to come in anyway. And they wouldn't allow those people to come through those magnetometers with guns. And Donald Trump said, get rid of the magnetometers, let them in. So he knew they was armed, he knew they was dangerous, and him and Rudy Giuliani, you got them on tape, fomenting anger and telling them to go to the Capitol and fight like hell. So for you to sit here and try to tell me I didn't see what the fuck I saw, or what I saw wasn't what I thought I saw, that sounds like a motherfucker cheating on his old lady. You didn't see me in that pussy. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Yeah, nigga, it was you. It was Trump. Trump was the one did it. So you can't even lie your way out of that, brother. I know you want to. You gonna keep trying your magic trick to think that we falling for that shit, but we not falling for that shit.
I didn't cut the short so I can answer. Damn. All right, listen to me. Nothing what you just
Hey,
said.
first of all, you need to understand. You need to understand. You control your dick sucking mouth. You don't worry about what the fuck I do. You worry about controlling your dick sucking mouth.
Nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with the Electoral Count Act of 1877. Nothing you just said. Only Congress deals with that provision, not protesters. And the riot is what caused Nancy Pelosi to invoke emergency rules that would cancel any parliamentary objections to the election, that only an up or down vote on accepting the electoral votes would count. So in other words, you're telling me Donald Trump sabotaged his own efforts to invoke a legal challenge to the election, which would have to have been taken up automatically by the Supreme Court if it failed.
Sarge, Donald Trump plans. Donald Trump plan. Listen. I'm not arguing. In order for Donald. Okay. I'm telling you. In order for Donald Trump's plan to work, right? That included Mike Pence. That included Mike Pence. So because Mike Pence didn't do what he was instructed to do, Donald Trump plan failed. So all of this legal path that you're talking about and everything was legal. Why the fuck did Mike Pence say no, this is wrong? There's a reason, Mike Pence. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck.
He wanted it registered as a vote so he could have an automatic appeal.
Okay, no. Look, you're missing the point. You're missing. Sarge, shut the fuck up. Listen. Sarge, shut up. You're missing the point. Your argument is that it was legal. Your argument is that it was legal and constitutional. That's your. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Your argument is that it was legal and it was constitutional. If it was legal and constitutional, Mike Pence would have followed along. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay. If it was legal and constitutional.
It was legal and they short-circuited it.
I just got one question. Why the fuck you won't let me talk? All right, I'm gonna shut up. I guess I can't say shit as always. I know it. I know it hurts. I know it hurts when I bring these facts, Sarge. I know.
Hey, remember Mike Pence said he had an interview. He said he had to call Bob Dole. He had to consult with Bob Dole whether or not he should do what Trump was asking him to do. And Bob Dole told him, hell nah.
And I told you he said it was going to fail. He knew it. He wasn't worried about it failing. He wanted to be able to go to the Supreme Court with the challenge.
Sarge, Mike Pence didn't.
You keep acting as though Mike Pence is a big roadblock.
No, listen, motherfucker.
The roadblock was the fact that the Electoral Count Act was never invoked.
No, the reason I invoke Mike Pence, I'm gonna mute you for a second. The reason I invoke Mike Pence is because you just went through whatever fucking made up regulation and constitution, 18 whatever the fuck 100, to justify the actions of the Trump administration on that day. And what I'm trying to tell you, if everything that you were saying is correct and they had legitimacy, it was legal, then Mike Pence shouldn't have had a problem going along with the goddamn plan. But Mike Pence knew that was illegal, and like Mama's boy said, he reached out to other people to see what was constitutional. People even talked to Judge Ruddick, I think his name was, and they said all that shit, a constitutional judge, and they said that shit was not right. So that's why Mike Pence didn't do it. In other words, you are making up justifications for the illegal actions, the unconstitutional actions of Donald Trump in 2026 when everybody and their fucking brother know what he did was against the law. Donald Trump has been emboldened.
X-rays have a hard time getting through that leaden cast you call a skull. But I want you to listen to me very carefully.
Oh, God.
They did not have the votes to overturn the election in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Let me repeat. They did not have the votes. They had 118 in both houses. That was insufficient. It didn't matter whether Mike Pence was going to do what Trump wanted him to do or not. What mattered was getting it on the record.
No, that's not what Trump said himself. That's not what Trump said himself.
I don't care what Trump said. I'm
How the fuck you? Wait. Trump said himself. Trump told them himself. Just send it back to the states, and I'll take care of the rest. And sending it back. Shut the fuck up, nigga. I know you feel this damn knife going in your damn side. Shut the fuck up. So when he asked Mike Pence he wanted Mike Pence to not certify it and send it back to the states, and he told him.
Yeah, and that had nothing to do with votes.
And I'll take care of the rest.
Well, yeah.
Out of his own damn mouth.
That had nothing to do with the amount of votes for Mike Pence to decertify it. That's what I was trying to get around to, you dumbass.
And I'm trying to tell this fool that, God damn it, it doesn't matter whether Mike Pence certifies or not. What matters is that the House put on the record an objection under the Electoral Count Act so they could go to the Supreme Court with it.
Sarge, why was he getting...
Damn, you don't listen to fucking God!
Why was he so critical of Mike Pence?
Because he was a piece of shit who waffled out when he should have stood strong?
No. I think Mike Pence...
That's what I think. Other than that, I don't know.
Listen, as much as people dislike Mike Pence, and he's a piece of shit of his own, right? He knows the law because he's been in government longer. And whatever he didn't know, he knew that he has to check to make sure this is right, because that he knows Donald Trump don't know shit. And so he said, yeah, I want him in power, but we gotta do this right, because he knows that there's consequences to it. That's why, Sarge, Mike Pence, as much as I dislike his views and the way he ran I think he's an idiot, but he knows better than I and better than Donald Trump. He knows law or the government, because he's been a governor. He's been in government for quite a while. The man, whatever he didn't know, he went to somebody to make sure, is this correct? I just want to make sure, because he don't want to get in trouble, and he knows there's consequences to that, Sarge. Come on now, let's not play this game.
I'm not playing a game. I think Mike Pence lacked the spine to do what was right, given the innumerable election irregularities in the election. And again, I will state again, I want to make it clear, there were not enough votes to overturn the election. There were enough votes to get an invocation of the Electoral Count Act, which would have been on the congressional record, which then could have been taken to the Supreme Court to get an automatic Supreme Court review of the results of the election and the impropriety of 5 states that changed election law in violation of Article 2 of the Constitution of the United States.
That's bullshit, because if that's the case, why did he have the fake slate of electors? Why did he have them? Why do you have them? Why was they even? Why even? I'm not done asking my question. It's very important you get the full question. So shut the fuck up and let me finish. Why does he go and illegally put together some fake electors with fake ass documents showing that they were the real electors, and they even showed up at these motherfucking courthouses and got turned the fuck and got turned the fuck away. You even had one of the originators of the idea plead guilty in Georgia over the shit and lost his bar license behind the fake elector scheme. Why go through that? I'll tell you why. I can answer it myself, because he told Mike Pence, just send it back down to the states. I'll take care of the rest, because he already had those fake electors set up to motherfucker come in there and replace the electors that were already there and vote for him to be the motherfucking president. That's what it was all about. It was about fucking it up so he could get back in there or don't have to go. And that's what it was about. This shit you talking is just some Monday morning quarterbacking to try to make it look like.
Stop with the fucking padding. God damn it. All right, listen to me. In 1960, JFK, in that election in Hawaii, an alternate slate of electors that had been pre-positioned in case of a challenge to electors in that state were substituted for the ones that were originally brought in. And nobody said that was illegal. They were accepted by Congress and certified from the state of Hawaii. alternate slate of electors in 1960. Look it up. It's not illegal.
Well, I don't have to look it up. You said a few. You said a few words. I'm answering you. You fucking post.
Let me finish it, motherfucker.
Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish. I didn't know you were still going.
Shut up. All right,
Fuck
again.
you.
Go to hell. Good night.
Peace. Getting too hard for you. Because the one thing he said is Congress, didn't he say Congress accepted the electors as alternates, right? They didn't accept these fake electors. They didn't accept Donald Trump's fake electors. They didn't. And the documents that they were using trying to say that they were the real electors proved to be fraudulent. So the difference between what he's talking about is the document. One document wasn't fraudulent, but the document Trump's fake electors was using, all of them, they were fraudulent documents. And we all saw it when all those electors showed up at that courthouse and that trooper looked at them and said, no, our electors are already here. What the fuck you doing up here?
Yeah, Sarge's brain is fried, man. There is, I mean, every piece of information that he gave was all conspiracy. Everything that he said was unconstitutional and illegal. Even though he said loud and strong, he's wrong every time he opened his damn mouth now. He's not saying one correct thing nowadays. He's quoting the 1800 ideology and all this kind of bullshit. We all know what happened. On January the 6th, Mike Pence did the right thing. Donald Trump was trying to get him to do something wrong. He was supposed to certify the election. If he wouldn't have certified the election, then that just, because the votes was already in. There was nothing for Congress to do pertaining to the votes. Nothing. So that was just procedural. So I don't know what the fuck Sarge is talking about it going to the Supreme Court and all this kind of bullshit. I guess he's referring back to George Bush versus Gore with the ballots, but that wasn't this situation this time. So I don't know what the fuck he's trying to make up. But having said that, guys, go ahead.
I hate he got off the phone, Tyrone. I know you're getting ready to let it go, so I just want to make this point. I think it's very important. Because Trump ain't the only one trying to distract us from talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Motherfuckers who support him do the same.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
We just witnessed Sarge come in here. We was talking about the Epstein files, and he proceeds to read off a litany of shit that he say was false, right? He brought the subject up to misdirect us and have us talking about all these little bitty things when we should be still talking about Epstein. Just putting it out there. Trump supporters want us to quit talking about Epstein too.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. That's what he did. He just come on here and lie. I mean, like I said, I entertain it because it's entertaining. But it's sad in a way how these folks have just went down the rabbit hole, and no matter what Donald Trump says, no matter what the Republican says, they support it. You know, we're watching racists with guns run through the streets of America now, killing people, and these guys are down for it. You know, it first started when Donald Trump came into office and he said he can shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue. They agreed with that. At his rallies, he was kicking out black people out of his rally. They agreed with that. And it just went on and on and on and on and on. These guys can't turn back now. They can't. They just can't.
Tyrone, they are protecting pedophiles and making excuses for pedophiles.
Yep.
They can't turn back. There's no turning back. If Trump was to go and blow their mother's head off or stab their children in the throat, they will come up with an excuse. Anytime you are protecting pedophiles, you gone. You're gone.
Yeah,
that's why y'all be arguing this stuff. They gone. You gone. You protecting pedophiles. These folks, the people are gone.
Yep. They wanted to, you know, they first started it out by making it about liberals and making it about Democrats and DEI and Black Lives Matter. And they got all these people riled up. So now he got all this coalition together. Now they got to support everything that he say, you know. I can see how it snowballed to this point.
I see how it's snowballed
Don't
too.
forget.
Because like y'all said, it was the what's a Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
Going in the Russia hoax, all that, and now we are in 2020, 24, 25, 26, detecting pedophiles.
Yep.
This
I mean,
country is
whoever the
gone.
think tank,
Country is toast.
whoever the think tank is behind Donald Trump and manipulating societies. I mean, I've read about and I've seen videos on how Russia does this same thing to its people, and that's why we ask ourselves, why are the Russians not saying nothing? Well, they constantly beat them with conspiracies and propaganda, and a lot of people in Russia know the truth, but a lot of people in Russia, because he controlled the media, he controlled what's on the airway, a lot of people in Russia support Vladimir Putin. And that's why we're looking at the birth of how you can control a society mentally, you know.
Yeah. Look, North Korea. Look at them.
Yep.
Nazi Germany. Look at them. Those people went along with them people killing millions of people. So I guess we haven't gotten there yet, but the fact that they are protecting pedophiles, if they was to start rounding up an entire race, I'm not going to put that on us. If they were to start to say they're going to round up an entire race, gas them, they would make excuses. You would have people like Sarge and some of these other people around here, while they walking into the oven and into the gas chamber, they will make an excuse.
Well, yeah, Renee Good is an example of that. I mean, any other time previously, everybody would have been appalled at what happened to Ray Good. You can look at George Floyd as an example, because George Floyd, even Republicans, knew that was wrong. Not all of them, not your Candace Owens and all, not your Sarges, but there was a lot of Republicans.
Well, a lot of them did.
Yeah.
A lot of them did.
But now you got Renee Good getting murdered on camera, and these motherfuckers don't even care. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
They don't care. Somebody should have been home with her kids. Should have been this, should have been that. And they're protecting pedophiles. We in bad shape.
Yeah, I don't know where this gonna end up at.
I just
hope.
We knew it was gonna be bad.
I just hope the Democrats, whenever they do take charge, do not take their foot off the damn gas. They need to be. I don't know if they need to be talking about now, but they need to be impeaching. They need to be trying to get these people in power removed. These CEOs and these companies, these media outlets that comply with Donald Trump, they need to, since Donald Trump, see, and it can work two ways. Donald Trump threatened them with lawsuits to get the media outlets to do what the fuck he wanted to do. So when the Democrats get into office, they can also threaten them to correct their goddamn actions. You know, and Fox News needs to be taken off the goddamn air. I don't give a shit who it's gonna piss off, but they need to be gone.
And they need to take hold, just like he took hold of the Justice Department, take hold of the Justice Department and start, like you said, not only impeaching, and he start prosecuting and putting a lot of people in prison.
Yeah.
We just have to see if they're gonna do it. If they're gonna take the money and not do it. But a lot of people need to take hold of run the Justice Department, and don't give a goddamn what people say. Well, you're not supposed to use that as your personal. Use it as your personal and put people in prison. That's
because
what they need to do.
Donald Trump, he gave them a playbook on how to handle Fox News by handling these other news agencies. You can see it's all right to tell Fox News, if you don't do this, you're going to get sued. Whenever you say this, you're going to get sued. Yeah, I mean, he gave them the playbook, so Fox News need to be on the damn chopping block when the Democrats take over. Democrats, if you're listening, that's what needs to happen, because that's where most of the misinformation is coming from the right-wing radio shows that's on FM radio. And all of these platforms out here that is spewing this bullshit, y'all need to go after them, because that's where you're gonna make your money at.
And break the law and rearrest the January 6th people. Go grab up that mofo, the one that he put all them drugs over here. All them people he pardoned, they say, well, pardon is supposed to be such and such. Lock all of it.
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck about the law.
That's what we gonna do. They ain't care about the law. Put all them people back in jail. They that leader from that Spanish company that sent him, put him all back in jail. The one from the whatever it is highway, the one that was doing the drugs and guns and stuff all online, let all them people put them all back in jail, reinstate everybody's crime. That's what when they say, well, I was pardoned. So what? So what? Put them all back in prison. Because right now, people is protecting pedophiles. We all messed up.
Yeah, they did.
All messed up, all broken.
They need to get a doctor and certify Trump as fucking mentally ill because they're not going to arrest him. And then if he's certified crazy, I'm pretty sure the Constitution says something about you can undo whatever the fuck that crazy man did or something. I don't know. They could work it out. You know, I'm not a politician.
They can work it out. All the Democrats who were truly fighting, y'all steal some money too. Steal some money too.
Might as well.
At this point, might as well give me some. Give me some of it. I don't care because everything is just out of control. The country is toast. It's just the lawlessness is just going. So when y'all get when they get in, get lawless too, and lock up Benjamin Netanyahu, and whoever don't like it, lock them up and go after them too.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be done. But they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. Well, the country, because they said after the insurrection that the country needed to heal, but the country never healed. The country got worse. So they come back in. Well, we all need to heal. Screw healing. People want revenge. That's what they was doing, revenge. And let's get on some revenge, and then we will heal. We will heal. Lock all of our ICE agents up who broke the law.
Exactly.
It's just lock them all up. Lock them all up. Well, I'm getting ready to go because I got to get up. Actually, we expected a bunch of snow. Mama's boy gone. They're supposed to be getting some in Texas. We expected a bunch of snow. So are y'all getting any type of what they say about your area?
Well, they didn't say snow, but it's supposed to get real cold, they said.
Yeah, but they're calling for all this snow, so I got to get up extra early. I'm not going to log into work tomorrow. I got to get up extra early, go to my doctor's appointment, run some errands, do some things. Because I'm hoping that this storm, I don't mind snow, but I just hope, because they talking about them 2 feet, over 2 feet, and all kind of stuff. I'm hoping.
Area, you're going to get hit. Like, I
yes.
seen it from New Orleans up north.
Yeah, they worried about power outages and stuff. Which is another thing I cannot get over for the life of me. I don't know why in 2020 we still having blackouts. Listen, Donald Trump had done spent enough money to fix this goddamn infrastructure so we won't have blackouts. There's technology out there to prevent blackouts, and these motherfuckers wasting money on bullshit, putting it in their damn coffers.
Who all got Verizon on here when all that mess went on last week? I do. I did.
I got T-Mobile.
And I have Verizon, and they gave me $20. They can kiss the biggest part of my that little $20. I mean, I was okay. The phone was out, but I had went for lunch to get groceries, and I couldn't use my coupons because my phone wasn't working. And I was like, these people cut my phone off. My bill ain't due, and then went back home. Everything all screwed up. I don't know. A lot of people got conspiracies behind that. It's just that's just a test to see how the people, because Verizon is the largest carrier. So, I mean, I was all right because we grew up during a time when there was no cell phone. There was no this, that. So, I mean, I was all right. I said, they're going to get it fixed. They're going to get it back. It was all day. It just inconvenienced me and my coupons for my groceries. And you go to scan and the phone wasn't working. I said, these people done cut my phone off. But my bill's not due. But it's just a mess, all type of mess that's going on. And next week, when we come back, let's hope it's not worse. Because it's worse every time.
Oh, yeah, listen.
When I come back on here.
Trump and them, I'm telling you now that they're not going to take the brakes off. You've seen them invade a country. You've seen them murder an American citizen in the middle of the street. You've seen them threaten to take Greenland. They ain't gonna take the foot. They ain't taking their foot off the gas. They just ain't. It's gonna get worse.
And so I'm talking about the deal he made for Greenland. He made no deal. What deal? You
Sarge,
see, he didn't answer that. Answer that. And I said, what deal did he make? He said he made a deal. That lying fat orange.
Sarge
Anyway,
is an
let me
idiot.
stop.
I'm telling you, Sarge is. I mean, and he actually turned himself into an idiot. Sarge is an idiot. I don't know what else to say. That's why I try to have a talk with him, but I'm not gonna yell over that man. You know.
There's no need. The country is protecting pedophiles.
Yeah.
Why are we arguing? We in a deep mess. It's like Jay said, people outside of the country looking at us like we crazy. So we're in a deep mess.
All right,
And
all right.
There's a coming back. I don't know. Let's hope it's not worse next week when I'm back on here. And I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Elisa, thank you, and I appreciate everybody for calling in, huh?
Yes, sir.
And then I'm YouTube gonna get ready to open up the line, and then y'all can call in if y'all want to. I'll talk to y'all later. Open.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.